Gentlemen, what's going on?
Not much.
Not much. Thanks for having us.
Sposa? What's the meaning behind that?
Sposa, bride,
Wife.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah,
Sposa.
Italian.
Okay.
Happy
And,
A.
and every kitchen
It's for the Sposa.
For the Sposa.
Not for... Well,
We're not going to say who came up with the name because then she's going to come back and want the credit for it. It was an ex-girlfriend. And I think she was trying to say something.
Listen,
Clearly,
man,
she
the
didn't
amount
become a
of
Sposa.
songs and movies and books that are
I
written
know.
based off of X, anything.
yeah, I
know.
Come on.
It worked, though, because people are like, that's a cool name. It's
If it was
European.
if it was a planet of men, we would not have any fucking creative anything.
We don't have
sure.
anything.
We need to
we
have
would
our
have
hearts
certain
stomped
things.
on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Gentlemen, welcome to the show, man. It's good
Thank
to see you
you.
guys.
Thanks for having
We were just talking on DMs and shit like that. Now we
I
put
know.
faces to the,
Yeah.
everyone knows what my face looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm loud today. I'm doing safety because it's fucking my
It's okay.
my white cap safety shirt here.
Absolutely.
Whatever, so.
Yeah, we followed you from, 10 years ago when you were the...
Back in the hardcore rentals
Hardcore
days?
rental days. I feel like, I remember
did.
you
Going
were.
in and seeing it on the TV.
It was like Brett Brenlow, maybe. Like a
Brenlow.
commercial.
Oh, yeah.
You had it on
He's
the
whipping
TV.
up his
Yeah,
shred.
Brenlow did that for a little while.
At the service desk.
Yeah.
You walk in and it's like, oh, he's doing the
It's like,
rental.
who's this guy? That's crazy.
They did that. And Home Depot still does the dry core ones on
Yeah.
their,
Yeah.
their aisles too. And the guys will send it to me and they're like, hey, look, younger version Manny.
Yeah, we look the same.
No, more gray.
Yeah.
Well, there wasn't much gray
Maybe
at
look
all.
better
back
now
then.
because the stressful construction days, they just kill you.
They do, don't they?
They do.
I think so.
They do.
How you guys been riding it?
It's okay. Construction side because we have the two
Funny
businesses.
year? Is it a funny year?
I think so. It's now the tariffs, all this bullshit.
Is it really affecting you guys?
It did for like 2 months.
So let me get this straight. The wood from Canada goes down to the States, then it gets processed, and then it gets shipped back, and we get fucked with tariffs coming in and then coming
Getting
back
out.
in.
Good
Both
thing
ways.
is that we don't deal a lot with wood, like our plywoods and stuff like that.
Well,
We do
plywood
we do a lot of melamines and TFLs and stuff like that.
Where's
We're
that
part
coming
of
from?
States too, the States. But our main supplier, thankfully, I'll shout out to McFadden's. We buy like 90% of our sheet
McFadden's
goods
great.
from them.
Yeah.
They've buckled down and fought for it. The tariff lasted 1 month for them. They sent appeals to the government and they took it off like
Lawyers.
last week.
So they got it.
So we
all.
bought a bunch of material. We had to pay.
You stocked up.
We stocked up.
Yeah.
But then I got a call like literally 2 days ago, and they're like, "We're good to go. Every prices are back to normal."
Is anything going to go up even further now?
I don't think so.
Is there more threats happening or some shit?
I don't think so. From what we know,
No, it's a 6-month pause.
yeah, they paused it for 6 months on their end for materials that they're bringing.
So you're going to get screwed other ways.
Either
Carbon
way.
tax bullshit.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, that's a whole nother ball game.
How deep of a dive do you want to go into those?
Oh, you can go anywhere. There's no rules on this show. I don't give a shit where
yeah?
anybody
no,
goes,
I'm
right?
just saying as far as like even what's... I don't know.
It's craziness.
What recently transpired?
Oh, yeah. It's...
How the little sneaky little things happen? Shit
Little
like
things.
that?
Big things.
I know that the majority of construction industry is disappointed by what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Because they were expecting the construction industry to start to turn around.
Yeah.
But now all you got is clients holding off.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
exactly what's happening.
That's exactly what happened.
And we've had this conversation I think briefly, but or maybe not. I can't even begin to touch upon how many clients now without me saying anything are, will you take cash? Will you take cash?
Well, you know
Will
what?
You take
I'm
cash?
not surprised, and I'm going to encourage it. I don't give a shit.
I got to be honest with you. I do as well. It's hard to run a business on cash. If you're year 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe.
This is construction. We could be creative.
You have to
course.
be creative.
No,
And we will be creative.
Yeah.
One of our clients yesterday, we were like, he goes, oh, things are looking better now. I'm like, not really. People are still scared. They don't really want to invest.
They don't want to spend.
Yeah.
They don't want to spend their money on a rental or a build and have their hands in the air and be like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. Is prices going to go up and then people drop off the job?
There's too much uncertainty right now. That was the issue. That was the biggest problem that everybody had with
course.
Monday was we were expecting some sort of fractional certainty
was
of
nothing.
something.
No, nothing.
There isn't. It's status quo. That's all it is,
Absolutely.
right?
It's disappointing being like, you know what, like my dad goes, you don't know what it was like coming here from Italy. I
You know
go,
what,
Yeah, I go, you're absolutely right. I don't know, and I would never will.
Yeah.
But being nowadays, you don't know what it is to be nowadays trying to be like, we don't know. Like, yeah,
Listen, occasionally I'll go home. I don't have kids, so it's nice and quiet. Put the music on, and all of a sudden I'm listening to clear my head.
of course.
And I compare it to, because that's the biggest question. what was it like when they came here back in the day and they had hard times? Because first of all, didn't speak the language, 100%. Had to climatize into the industry, which was only construction, and then all of a sudden find work because guess what? The wife at the Sposa at home was pregnant again and again, right? So all of a sudden she had to stay home because there weren't daycares.
No.
There wasn't dental care. There wasn't all this other crap shit. So all of a sudden they had to make ends meet. They had to make money, but that compared to now is a different story with $1 million plus home plus the expenses, $1.50 gas.
It's almost impossible. Like, do you remember when $100,000 a year salary was like, you were good?
Back in high school, you're wealthy.
You were wealthy.
Oh, yeah.
That's not the case today.
It's not.
It's funny because years ago I had a conversation with uncles, like my mom's uncles, and they're like, "Oh, you guys don't understand. You come here and it's like we came with nothing." I go, "I understand, but the house was nothing. Like, you buy a house for $20,000 when you came here.
I know,
grand.
I get it. It got as high as
whatever.
20% for mortgage rates.
Sure.
But I'd take 20% mortgage rates on a $100,000 mortgage.
100%.
Absolutely.
Over $1 million plus mortgage on a 2%
Absolutely.
mortgage.
Of course,
Yeah.
because it's like it's the false perception of, oh yeah, it's only 2%, but your house is $1 million. A house in Stroud, Innisfil,
Yeah, I know.
that's on septic.
Oh, they're all over $1 million, right?
That was built in 81 is over $1 million. And you're like, okay, I'm 37. I have 3 little boys. I go, the hell is a house going to be with them? $3 million? Or they're not going to be any houses to buy.
So if it's not sustainable, what's the alternative? What's going to happen?
Well, it depends how you look at it. Does the government want to own everything and rent out houses?
Yep.
Of course.
Do they want to own all your small businesses?
You own nothing and you'll be happy.
And control the market?
Everything.
Of course.
Yeah, of course they want.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a set rate.
So here, since Manny, since when does the government since when do they care about building like 500,000 houses?
They've never.
Never. Why now?
I laugh whenever I hear anybody from politics tell me they're going to achieve this many homes.
Yeah, it's possible.
First of all, you never
500,000
swung a
homes.
hammer. You've never been on a job
Yeah,
site.
it's
You
not
don't know
possible.
what it takes to build
the
a
bank
house.
doesn't want to own your home,
No.
but why is the government sending a false narrative? Oh, we're going to build 500,000 homes in a year.
It's not possible. I don't think it's possible.
Where? You got Condrain and
no
all these
labor
big
force.
infrastructure companies being like, we can't even build 20,000 homes without problems like the problem that happened up in Barrie on McKay Road when they were building, they were digging that massive hole, the carve. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I might have heard of that. I don't know.
Yeah, like 7 kids died. They fell into they drove right into a man, like a massive.
It was like a 40 footer
foot.
by like 15 meters down.
How
It's
was
like a
it
year
not
ago.
blocked off or something?
It was.
It was. They drove right through.
There was like 3 different roundabouts that they created to kind of divert traffic, and then I guess someone moved a
With
certain
the
section.
kids,
2 o'clock in the morning.
It was late. But like,
and they all died?
Yeah, last year. I'm surprised you didn't hear. Well, I guess maybe it didn't.
I
come
don't
up
pay attention to mass media,
Oh, okay, then yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm part of the Running Man
it
team,
was
right?
on, but I don't think it was like as
Couple
big
days
as what
and
you
then that
think
was
it
it.
would have been because there's 5.
And
Because
they tried
loss
to
of
sue.
life doesn't do anything.
No.
Yeah.
Bringing life into this country and buying votes, that does something.
Of course, that's.
Well, don't worry. Prepare yourselves because there's an extra 1 million people coming in for every single year for the next 4 years.
Of course.
Yeah.
But then here's my.
It's sliding, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
it fucking. If you, I don't know. That one I thought I tweaked it, but don't worry about it. I know. Might be a little annoying.
No, and I don't think the labor force is there. Like, I think everybody.
I'd correct you a tiny bit. Skilled.
Sorry, yes, absolutely. No,
Everybody's
you're right. That's what I
jumping
meant by it.
Yeah, everybody's
To kind
jumping
of-
into it. But
Skilled labor.
But
Skilled
then I
labor.
also have the other fault. The clients are paying those fucking guys.
I know.
Yeah,
They're hiring them because they're giving them the number that they want to hear.
absolutely.
Not the number.
Is it the
that
right number?
Well,
No.
it's so easy
We
for
had
me to
the-
come to you, man. Oh yeah, you want a kitchen? Okay. What's your? Oh, I can only afford 30 grand. Okay, no problem, 30 grand. And then halfway through the job, it's 60. Why?
Because of upgrade. You asked for this. You asked for this.
Yes.
You asked for this.
And everyone needs the work. Like.
And how do you go in as a contractor? Because we've both been on that side before we started the millwork company. We're in contracting for 12, 13 years, 14 years, whatever it's been. How do you lump sum a price with no drawings? The average cookie cutter.
don't.
That's what I'm trying to say. So how do you go
Not
in?
even
as
IKEA
a
does that.
That's my point. So like we have it all the time. Like we went to go price, some projects, and the client said to me, "You're $40,000 more than the other guy." I
Who's the other guy?
"Who is the other guy?"
Stevie Wonder Kitchens?
That's
Like, I don't understand what
Yeah,
the
and
other guy
it
is.
was a full reno, the full house plus the millwork. I go, listen, we were referred to you because we did another project where we did the full reno and we also built all the millwork in house. I go, so we're $40,000 more. What's the other guy leaving out? Oh, he's leaving out the floor. We're going to buy that, and he's leaving out the kitchen. I go, this is the contract. It shows you're getting 3/4 boxes, Blum Legra systems. This is what you're getting. Now, it's up to me to obviously design with you, but this is the ballpark figure we're at now based off the linear footage we're talking about. That guy's $40,000 cheaper.
Where is he getting his material?
And but
even
what
Chinese
kitchen
knockoffs are not going to be that much cheaper.
Oh, it's labor. Now we're talking.
So I asked, how many years has this guy been in business? Is he reputable? Does he have referrals? Can you go see an active job site? I go down the street, literally 2 streets over.
Do you have any answers?
She said, listen, what the husband said to you, honestly, I'm a banker. I'm looking at the dollar amount. I said, that's then look, gave me the look. You know the look when you're in a house and you're like,
then you guys leave.
You leave.
You just thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's
you just
it.
vetted yourself.
You just did my vetting for
That's
me.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And like,
see you later.
at the end of the day, I tell everyone, 15 years of doing it, a piece of you stays with every job you do. I don't care if you're if you care about your work, a piece of you stays.
Absolutely. And it should.
And it should. Because that means you actually care about the work and you're an honest person and you're not there to like just grab and go.
Yeah.
But after 15 years, you're like, okay.
It's exhausting.
I have to watch what pieces I leave of me. So like you kind of like
what, you sell your soul?
No, I don't even sell your soul. It's more of like I'm not just gonna leave it for everyone anymore. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
If I leave it to you, I'm gonna do your job and I'm gonna do it with pride and as best perfection I can possibly give to someone. But
Look, hang on, we're getting way ahead, man. I got to share all this information. Nobody knows who the fuck we're talking about.
It's okay. We're rambling
here. What numbers do you want me to share? What? No. The website is www.sposakitchens.com.
Yeah.
Email?
Either way. Yeah.
Info at sposakitchens.com. And for all you white people, Sposa is SPOSA. I like calling the white people, right?
Yeah.
It's just,
you can say it. I don't know if I can. It's on my
You want me to share the phone number?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
647-291-4840 to get a hold of these guys. And the Instagram is under Sposa Kitchens, right?
You got it.
Anything else you want me to share?
No, whatever. That's it. That works. You can find us.
Yeah.
Google it.
No, I mean, you guys do solid work. And it's not just the millworkers shit. You guys care about the trim and the overall picture, right?
Anything, we started as architectural work.
But the good thing is like we do come from the renovation background. So it's like when we walk into a house, I'm not just looking at the millwork. I got to take one hat off, put the other one on, and be like, oh, okay, yeah, you want millwork? And then you're looking through the wall and be like,
that's not prepped properly. That's not going to work. How do you know? Trust me, it's not going to work. And then you talk to the GC on site. You try not to step on.
Trip, man.
That's what it is.
I've been down the river a few times, so it's like, yeah, but you try to help, and then, but it's also you got to keep it business for that certain aspect. Like I can't.
We're not the GC on site, so
so it's more like, hey, you want the millwork?
but you're working with the GC directly.
That's my point.
With the most critical component of any rental.
I agree.
It's like my dad says all the time. It's like
despite what the drywallers say, it's still the kitchen cabinet.
It's like wearing a suit with running shoes.
Yeah, if it's not done right. Yeah,
I've seen a lot of those kitchens.
Of course, absolutely. It shows. Yeah. But with the first thing they look,
I know.
You know.
I know. Yeah. Doesn't matter about Andy Dufresne. You still look at shoes, right?
Exactly.
It's true.
So how do you guys navigate that? Because the clients just want it cheaper and cheaper, but they want the quality, right?
Well, the thing is, for us, we deal with a lot of designer specs. So if we're dealing with a designer, it's a little easier. They kind of come to us because they know we've executed their design 3 months ago. We'll be able to do it again now.
Well, they want that certainty.
That's exactly it.
They don't want to deal with headaches. They don't want to go around and all of a sudden, this guy's going to make me nervous. I'm going to look bad in front of my client.
Exactly.
They want certainty from a good quality person.
Absolutely. And that's where we find it works for us. When you're dealing with homeowner level, a little bit more difficult, I'd say, right?
I'm trying to think of where you could put the fucking nuts.
There you go. Shim it up.
Let's see. No, it's tilting.
Other side.
I use my hands.
No, it's annoying that you got to use your hand.
Don't worry.
Okay. Put this coaster under there.
No, it won't go.
No, it's not that. It's the other part there.
It's tilting here.
Or even you need some weight there or something. What can you put a weight there wise?
It's okay, but we'll fix it. We can.
Or even, you know what? Let it slide that and just point the mic towards you.
There you go.
Yeah, do that. That'll work too, right? How does he look when he's talking there? On the levels, is he?
Am I good?
Yeah. Should be fine.
There we go.
So, all right. At Premier Physiotherapy and Sports Medicine, they don't just treat symptoms with the subpar standard experience people have come to know. Listen up, trying to skip this ad? That's exactly how you strained your back last time. The clinicians there provide accurate, specific diagnosis and evidence-based treatment techniques to provide clear and personalized effective management plans. They thrive when they hear people say that they've tried physio before and it didn't work, because they raise the standard of what physiotherapy should be by managing your issue. Whether you're recovering from injury, awaiting surgery, trying to resolve lingering pain, or striving for peak performance, they use the latest equipment and proven methods to restore your ability and confidence. From physiotherapy and massage therapy to chiropractic care, nutrition counseling, and psychotherapy, their multidisciplinary team supports both your body and mind every step of the way. Discover the difference and book your consultation today at premierphysiotherapy.com or call 905-417-9991. Premier Physiotherapy and Sports Medicine. Your goal is their goal. This message is proudly supported by The Construction Life. You know what? We'll get into all that shit. I want to hear from you guys, your ideal kitchen. Because when I do it, listen, I checked you guys out. I looked at stuff. Obviously, there's going to be Shaker. If anybody's heard the show, I fucking can't stand Shaker. I fucking hate Shaker. But I was in love with a lot of the walnut you guys did, the flat panels.
Yeah.
I was like the darker tones. I was like, these are kitchens I want to cook in. That's what a kitchen's supposed to be. Kitchen's not supposed to be about a kitchen that you can photograph.
No,
that's going to happen naturally.
Absolutely.
I want a kitchen that you can cook in.
It's funny because like my favorite, a kitchen that I like with form and function are like a 60s style kitchen.
Yeah.
When you're going in there and you're looking at like every cabinet, even the fridges and stoves had purpose.
Yeah.
Like there's actually one, I follow someone on Instagram and the stove that I forgot the name. When I find it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
This stove has like 10 different options of cooking. There's a griddle and you pull it up, and then there's an internal griddle to hold sausages or bacon or whatever. Like the stoves were meant to cook. It wasn't 5-burner and then an oven. It was like a full-blown
But that's what you want.
Kitchen. That's what you want. The problem is when you deal with, like, I say the surface level, I'm not gonna say cookie cutter because I don't want any, clients to kind of get offended by that, but an average kitchen in a $1.3 million house, there's only so much you can spend. The innovation is there. Like there's technology now for kitchens. Things get crazy.
You get everything you want if you go a 48-inch range. If you go,
100%.
If it has an oven attached to it, or if you do a wall oven, then you have your refrigerator and you have your dishwasher and you have your sink component, and then so you got your prep. You got everything all set up. Well, now it's a question. The only thing that starts to increase, I guess, if you have a separate pantry.
Yeah, like butler's pantry, and you can kind of
like that.
Secondary.
Yeah, hidden walkways,
kitchen.
like built-in doors that look like concealed panels.
I guess the new trend that I started noticing was the walk-in refrigerators.
Yeah,
but those are not.
Everybody wants, and then when you kind of price these things out,
it's insane.
Like it's not that we don't want to do it. It's just like for me to mock this up and build it and stage it in the shop probably takes 3 days. From when you mount the
prep.
100%. We try to stage 90% of our millwork in the shop.
Yeah.
We stage like 90% of it, right? Because like we have our drafters. I do a lot of drafting myself, but you never know until you assemble it, and you want to make sure everything works. It's CNC based, so it should work.
But you get on site though. If it's new construction, there's going to be some crowns in, out, or whatever.
If the house is 110 years old,
that's a different story.
Another story.
If they're strapping, fixing shit,
and you don't know, and then you go back during a site measure, it wasn't there, and you go, that happens in construction. We get that.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
We modify stuff on the go all the time. But
listen, I've done stuff where we were timing it to get the vanity top into a long 8-foot long vanity top. I didn't finish the wall, knowing that I wanted to get this in here.
Smart.
Because I didn't want to cut it short to get it in there on a slight angle.
Or destroy how you're going.
Yeah, and then you're going to have to either epoxy or fill it or try to fix. I'm like, no, man, this thing's going in tight on this side. I'm going to build this drywall here after that.
Smart.
And then it looks like,
but you
good luck on getting that out there.
Absolutely.
It's going to stay there forever.
Or it depends on what kind of client it is. It's like, but why isn't this wall done? It's like, no, I'm waiting for it to slide the cap.
We get that.
Why isn't the wall done? The wall should be done. It's like they don't know the step.
Get that. On the renovation side and the build side.
I'd just be like, here, turn your head this way.
That's it. Pretend like it doesn't exist. Like, I don't understand sequences.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's like I'm like 5 steps ahead of you.
Yeah,
so I'm already figuring out what the problem is going to be.
What's the best way to execute this?
Exactly. Leave the drywall. It's just drywall.
And mitigate risks on things happening afterwards.
Yeah. It's easier to put drywall pieces in there and finish that. But I guess it's a question of they look at it like, well, you got to bring in the mutter and the taper. I'm like, well, he's a brother, friend. whatever.
He's coming either
Part of
way
the
when I
crew.
tell him.
He's coming. He's
Exactly.
taking care
You
of
got
it.
it. You got it.
And it's cheaper to have my taper come in with mud than it is to
Try to epoxy stone
a Taj
and-
Mahal.
Doesn't the client want it as custom as possible? Like that's the
That's the idea. That's why we go custom. We're not buying IKEA. Going back to like 15 years ago when we first started, just to touch upon that surface. Before we were fabricating, we were like the IKEA hacks. I kept IKEA in business. I feel like
modifying IKEA forever.
before all style doors existed, I was cutting shit down and making our own stretchers so that clients wouldn't see that it had a steel. We were pretty much remaking it, but it was readily available. Now, good luck.
That's when I discovered that IKEA has a whole different contract with all the
Tons.
hardware.
Yeah.
Well,
They
Blum.
fractionally change shit.
Yeah.
So then you can't mix and match.
Yeah.
The original
Absolutely.
IKEA.
I can't stand that.
Blum still had their name on it.
Yeah.
So it's changed. I haven't done
Yeah.
a modification in forever, so I don't know.
But the original, I'm talking like maybe
15
14 years ago, they still had their. I remember buying it and seeing it on there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they slowly take it off because they're.
I just don't like that they are so big that they can control that they design just hardware for us and it doesn't match hardware for everybody else.
Yeah.
So you can't mix and match.
Can't
now.
mix and match it.
I don't like that.
Of course.
But I guess it's a financial thing on their part.
Concept of it. Yeah.
Because
Makes
everyone
sense.
thinks kitchen, the first thing is let's go to IKEA.
Oh,
Online,
But you know, it's
digital.
not cheap.
Closet, you want to go pack system?
Oh, fuck.
What, that garbage? It's like
It still
Quarter-inch
rattles
skin.
even though as if it's like
wow.
anchored.
You've cut through a panel?
I know.
And it's literally it's corrugated.
Yeah, I know.
cardboard.
Yeah, it's not even.
You know, it's designed to last. I don't know. how
One, no,
long.
you could put it together. You can glue your dowels in. Sure, if you want to be that crazy, but
Glue
put
your
it
dowels.
put it in. Fine, take
There's
it
no
out.
room for glue in
Yeah,
there.
there's
right?
no room. Like, get a, yeah.
Oh, we used to glue the
to
dowels.
glue it?
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
like secure.
Well,
if-
we never
if
used
that
to
would
use
just
a quarter
mushroom
inch.
the
Yeah, I know,
particle.
it's pretty crazy. Yeah, because their particle board is terrible. But yeah, we used to do like solid. We would take that little flimsy back off and redo the back so they'd have solid backs.
Oh, I hated those backs, man.
Garbage.
And the whole
There's-
rail system.
there's
is
rail
just-
You know, there's kitchen companies that still make quarter-inch back skins.
I know
Yeah,
custom kitchen companies doing that.
And that's what we have to explain. Like, that's a big section of our contracts that, kind of lists out how we build, or down to our joinery. Like, it's, a blind dado construction, not a butt joint box. What was the difference? I'm like, what do you mean? We're butting two pieces of...
It's furniture in your kitchen.
Yeah.
But it takes, one, it could be done on a table saw, one's done on a CNC machine.
Yeah.
So your joinery and your fitting is much more precise.
Do
down
clients
to a
really
thou-
care about that?
No.
The
If I
majority.
bought a kitchen and you bought a kitchen, you would
We
probably
would.
be like, okay.
Right?
Yeah, I would agree with it. I don't agree with the IKEA bullshit.
Me neither.
But then it's a budget thing.
But is it
People are
really
almost
cheap?
proud, eh?
But
They're proud of the fact that my IKEA kitchen cost $5,000.
But is it cheaper though? But who assembled it and who installed it?
IKEA charges that now. They'll deliver it too.
They'll do it all.
Yeah, they'll bring it to the site, assemble it, put it in place.
Through IKEA? They
Yeah.
have their own assembly guys
Yeah.
now? Because I know before it was like a TaskRabbit kind of guy.
No, they've already all set it.
so
So
then
they're
I don't
including
even-
it.
I
It's
don't
another
even
line
know.
item.
Yeah.
I remember doing
another-
that kitchen. Somebody was telling me the delivery was like $53
Yeah.
to deliver
100 boxes.
20 pieces. It was a small kitchen. It was $53.
That's a joke.
They don't make money off the delivery.
No.
When you buy a custom home, where do they make the money? Upgrades.
Of course.
They don't make money because you bought the home on the spec.
Of course not.
No. You want a 9-foot basement?
Sure.
You want a 9-foot main floor? Or
that's where
10-foot name? That's where
Tagged.
upgrade.
We're actually doing
Yeah.
a whole millwork package for a brand new house in up north.
Yeah.
And they bare bones kitchen. No.
Like we were there
want it
during
bare
their
bones.
upgrade stage. I just went in as like a consultant with them.
Yeah.
And I just didn't say I was the millwork guy. It was a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
And I'm there and they're like, oh yeah, for this, to do all soft close hinges and slides is $9,000 in this kitchen that's like 12 feet long. And
We
I'm
looked
like,
at each other going like,
we're in the
oh
wrong
my
business. But then you find out because the industry's small. So like I'll talk to these millwork, like the full fabrication shops. And they're like, oh, we don't charge $9 to the builder. We're like $1,000. The builder's charging $8.
God. They can do whatever they want.
Can't blame them, but that's
If
ridiculous.
they sell it to the client, they sell it to the client.
That's
Isn't
how-
the kitchen the one room that the clients try to sell to all their friends? They tell their friends about it and
Well, that's what I say.
Absolutely.
come and see my kitchen. Come and see my
That's it.
kitchen.
You're 100% right.
You're not going to bring your friends into your bedroom. Well,
Hey,
you,
maybe.
you could if you really want to.
What type of friends you have? Depends what type of friends you have.
Or your bathroom. Yeah, okay. If you have
Bathroom,
Sure,
closets.
closets.
Closets and kitchens.
But That's where the millwork.
But you guys are doing anywhere. You guys are doing millwork anywhere. Right?
Anywhere.
You guys expanded into garages.
Garages.
Yeah, we've done a few.
Garages. I'm finally happy to see that people are using garages for the purpose of using a garage.
I agree.
Organize the shit. Like no more just hanging shit up.
No.
There's a whole industry.
Yeah.
In garage fit outs. Like I wish we got like that's not I wish. I'm happy where we are, but that's a huge industry.
There's a lot of big businesses that are doing well from it.
You know?
It's like basements too. Basements are
Yeah, people don't see
No,
them
basements. When I was doing construction, I always treated like I coined that phrase third floor, right?
It is a
Exactly.
it
It's
is,
the same square
absolutely.
footage as your main floor.
you want your theater, put it down there.
Exactly.
You want a
Exactly.
gym,
And a
a
second
studio.
kitchen. If you're European, it's a second kitchen. You
kitchen.
want your wine cellar.
Totally.
You want whatever. Your kids learning how to play drums. You want a little sound
Exactly.
room.
Sure.
All that shit.
And the days are done now where a basement used to cost what it costs. Like I tell people, even when we were doing
Guys
you know,
are still doing that shit though. Have you seen like they're selling basements for 40 grand?
it's
I don't know how.
impossible.
Walk out to cut out, plan, permanent
But how?
drawings,
How?
and I'm like, you guys are out to
Where's
lunch.
unless they're doing 40 a month.
You
not gonna name
can't-
names, but
you
those guys
can't-
are out of business
You can't
now.
produce that basement for $40,000. I don't care if
It's
it's,
impossible.
1,000 square foot.
It's impossible.
You can't produce it for 40
It's
grand.
impossible.
So what are they doing? Just paying the guys peanuts, like the work wise, with the less than $14 an hour?
Well,
I guess volume based. Like when you have the
How?
in-house
How does
guys,
the numbers. I don't understand.
I don't see how it makes.
no, we talk about it all the time. It's okay. Where are you getting your material?
Inferior material.
Has to be at
Are
some
you-
point.
are you-
Was Chinese drywall like imported? That you're gonna die in 6
wouldn't
months?
doubt it. Lumbers and everything like that are coming from China.
Yeah, but that's a whole nother.
Listen, even power tools like DeWalt and Milwaukee have different tools that are slightly
course.
different that go to Home Depot than they go to the
Canadian
tool
Tire.
shops.
Yeah,
Yeah, like IHL or Atlas.
Yeah.
Any
It's a lot
of them, right?
different, Yeah.
So they're different. They're slightly
The models
different
are
tools,
different.
right? Whether they go on down this assembly line or they go down that assembly
You're
line.
right.
It's like
What are they
this-
not doing on this
It's like
one?
designer clothes. It's all the same thing. One goes down that line, one goes down that line. One's fake, but it's not fake. It's real.
yeah, absolutely. And people don't understand like a basement too. It's like, you know, you're getting the same amount of trades to do a whole house practically.
Yeah,
It's
of
crammed
course, they all
into
got to
it.
come in.
Think about it. How can I do? How?
The only one you don't bring in is a roofer.
That's it.
You're bringing everybody else in.
Of course.
You're
So-
changing the windows. You're making them bigger.
Yeah.
You're doing mechanical. You're doing plumbing. You're doing electrical. You're
Absolutely.
doing finishing, trim, flooring, tile,
Everything.
vanity,
It's
cabinetry for your built-in home theater.
so at
whatever.
40 grand. If the builder's
It's bullshit.
It's impossible.
The
It's-
basements I used to do that was 1,600 square feet were always over 250K.
Yeah, easily.
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 And that's back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah,
If
you're
I
at
was doing it
100K
today,
for a
it'd be
basic
over 3,
basement.
4.
Yeah, basic to get it like just board and some floor.
Well,
and
if you go
trim.
based off the value of your home, yeah. Think about it like that.
It's a
If
third
you're
floor.
spending $1 million.
That's how you
how I
used to
sold it.
evaluate.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
You're
said, you
spending
guys
it-
paid X amount for the main floor and the top floor, and you guys paid roughly about maybe $400 a square at the time. I'm charging you guys $250, under $3 a square.
If you want it done properly.
But there's guys that will go to work for $60, $80
Yeah, I
a
don't
foot.
get that, man. I don't know how do you sustain that business?
It's not sustainable, and that's why going back to what we were talking about. The guy year 3, year 4, he's learning now at year 4, 5, 6 that this is not sustainable. After you've been in it 15 years, you don't even think about trying to compete with that. You've made the mistake.
So
We've
what do
all
you
been
do?
in there.
What do? You get out?
You get out. You try to you find a different clientele. I think construction. I think all of this is. We're all good at what we do. Let's just assume.
But you
not
got to
everybody.
find the right client for what
For
you're
what you
offering.
offer. That's
Absolutely.
it.
I
That's
think
all
that's
it
the
is,
big- That's
right?
all. That's
And
every
that's the hard
industry.
part.
That's
Finding the right
100%.
client.
For sure.
There's the top 5% clients that everybody wants, but not everybody has a skill set for that top 5%.
For sure.
Of course.
Right? But then you got the bottom of the barrel. And the only shitty thing about what's currently going on is no different than when they introduced the GST. The underground community just fucking grew. That's all it was, man.
That's it.
The conversation of doing cash or doing partial cash or can you take care of this or whatever, that's going to be the norm now. It has to.
But can you blame guys?
I'm not blaming anybody, but the problem I have is anybody who overspent in the last few years
Oh, you're
by paying $100,000 plus for vehicles or setting up a shop here or setting up a shop
Or
there.
buying a house that was $1 million,
Or buying a
$2
house.
and now it's only
Anything.
worth $9 million.
Now you got all these bills piling up and you don't have the work coming in. That's the problem I have. So they're going to be folding up shop.
Well, it's because everybody thought COVID was like, oh, God's blessing me with work. No, everybody and their grandmother was busy. Everybody.
But they weren't busy making the money that was in line with what everybody else was making. And I talk about manufacturer-wise.
For sure.
The increases on supply chains was
sure.
astronomical compared to labor increases. We weren't increasing the same price.
No, everything else went up in labor and
We were just busy, which meant we had to fulfill more work, which felt like we were busier, but in reality, we weren't charging more.
And you probably almost had to lower your labor rates because they were paying extra for the materials.
Someone else would have done it cheaper just to get the job to feed themselves.
If you are a business owner, subcontractor, or client, you know that trust in this industry is huge, and Contract App helps build that. Not only do they get a solid contract for your projects, they built in an e-signature tool for you and your clients. The contract dashboard also has a digital live log that records every step of the project, plus a rate and review system for both the contractor and the client. This means more transparency and accountability for everyone. Stop running your business on an estimate and a handshake. Protect yourself with Contract App. Book your free demo or sign up today at www.contractapp.ca and use promo code TCL to get your first month for free. This message is proudly supported by The Construction Life.
I remember back then we were doing the basement. This was like, how many years has it been since COVID now? I don't even know. Feels like a lifetime ago. Whatever. 4 years?
Yeah, it was during 2020.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years.
Contract was signed. Went to go start, and I remember doing the lumber package, and I said, oh my Lord.
Yep.
$15 a stick. I turned to him, I said, what are we going to do? I have nothing in my contract that says, at the time, I've never had this. I didn't know how to navigate this.
You priced it for what, like $5 or $6?
Probably, at the time, yeah.
$5.
Yeah.
They were like $289, I think, before pre-COVID.
What are they now? What are they today?
$346.
Oh, they're really
for an
they're
80? Yeah, $4.
For a Home Depot.
Yeah. But with that being said, I didn't know how to navigate it. I turned to him and I was like, dude, do we have a meeting with this client and try to be realistic? They're going to say, give me the deposit back or sue me, back charge me. Like, I've never dealt with this. I'm an honest contractor.
Because that extra $10 was coming out of your profit margin.
Exactly.
Right out. Gone.
Which anybody at that time, you're still if you're good, 20% profit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? If you're good, but realistically, you're probably closer to 12, 13% profit.
Yeah.
So that's coming out of there now. What's the point? I'm not like it's not a hobby anymore.
It's not a hobby. I'm not paying you to go to work.
It's not Habitat for
Humanity. And I'm sure we weren't the only. I'm sure we weren't the only ones. I'm sure this happened across the board on bigger levels. Bigger
big
levels.
builds. If you were building a house.
Oh yeah. They have them locked in, right?
Oh no, lumber packages were insane during those days. They went from 75 to 150 in a blink of an eye. It was a commodity, right? So it's just like we didn't know what the price was going to be until next week. And the unfortunate thing is, it all comes out now. It wasn't COVID. It was just the manufacturers going, yeah, let's give this a go.
Let's see what happens.
No, it's time to make some money.
Yeah. And they made
Real
a
money.
shitload of money. A lot of people retired as a result of that shit.
For sure.
Of course.
It's disgusting.
And they knew that they were going to pay for it. The clients were going to pay for this shit.
Yeah. Or the GC or whoever is building.
It was a client, but the clients would eventually take it out at the GC. What happens at the end of any job?
It's the GC is the last guy
quarterback,
standing.
right?
That's it.
Exactly,
See you
right?
later.
So whatever. Remember that time that, I'm not going to pay you the last bill at 100. I'm going to pay you at 72 or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's sad that like every conversation we have is the same.
Every trade goes through this shit.
Everybody's gone through it. So what do you do on the flip side?
I think you be brutally honest.
Like you could stop work orders. We've all been there. It's
no, it's not even that.
Here's our contract.
I think
we don't
just
get paid.
Be brutally honest with the client. You just go, listen, we're so-called friends. We have a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm working for you. You're compensating me.
Of course.
Yep.
But here's the situation. This is the final bill. This is what we've all agreed to. You're saying that you don't want to pay this fucking bill. I'm going to say, you're pissing me off now. Like, I've delivered the work. Pay me for the fucking work.
For the work.
Just be fucking direct. That's what I think you do.
And then you never want to burn that bridge because you're like, you want the referrals and you did a great job, but it's dead. Once they put that in their head, it is done. They're not referring you. They're not fucking paying you. Send the notice.
Is what? Get paid.
Get paid. However you need to get paid.
You don't want to go legal.
No,
I see all these young guys and they're all piss and vinegar and they're like, oh, I'm going to fucking sue them.
Yeah, because they never really have had to
take that fucking ride. I keep hearing the roller coaster click, 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 click.
It's the old Rocky 5. Sue me for what?
Yeah. It's true.
Like, at the end of the day, okay.
For 5 years?
Yeah, bro, you go to court, it's gonna get gobbled up, whatever. Unless it's $1 million. The
lawyers only.
The lawyers make
that's
money,
exactly
not
what it
you
is.
or them. Nobody wins.
And you put a lien on the house for what? They're not selling their house anytime soon.
And that can get taken off.
I just say you be as creative as possible to try to get the fucking money as whatever small amount you can.
It's just sad. Sad that we have these conversations.
Sad. It is. It's brutally sad.
And I don't care how big your company is. Everybody's
get away with it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
They still have to pay for their fucking Audi payment, their monthly payment.
That's exactly what it is.
The G-Wagon payment. They got to still fucking do that shit.
Bro, you go to the grocery store, you put your stuff on or you give it to the cashier. she rings it all through, and that's what you're paying. You're not going there and be like, you know what, I don't want to pay for the meat that's $150 nowadays.
I'll get you next week. We always say it. It's like a grocery store.
But
You get
in
what you fucking
construction,
pay
it's
for.
like that.
Yeah, of course.
We know that you charge. We know. We agreed. I get it. I don't want to pay.
Yeah. At the end. When they spend too
The
much on
beginning's
furniture.
the beginning and middle are all honky dory.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
your
making
best-
you breakfast. They're
Fuck.
making you lunch. They're making you all kinds of shit. They're talking, oh, I'm going to get you this job. Oh, this other person, a friend of mine came by. She loved the work that you guys are doing. She saw the
Absolutely.
little details.
Of course.
All this fucking carrot shit. I don't want any of this fucking carrots.
We
man.
have
I
a-
want
we have
carrots,
a-
I'll
we
go
have-
buy my own carrots.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We have this saying, you know, people are like, oh, you know, I got my friend, you know, give me a deal. We've been doing this like the last maybe couple of years on the rental side. Is no problem. You want a deal? Actually, this is our program, how it works. You pay me $10,000 extra, and when I get that client, I give you 20 back.
It's a good one. I
Now
like
let's
that
see
one.
how fucking tough you are.
I like that one. That won't happen, but I like it.
But why doesn't it happen though? Here's the document. You pay $10,000 extra. It's in a holding account. When you referred your client that you know hits that threshold.
I'm hearing a lot of Americans are doing that.
Yeah,
No different than a real estate transaction. They put it into a trust fund.
that's it. Why not?
The work is there. Once the work is completed, it gets withdrawn. It gets transferred into your account. No objections, no nothing, right?
Why not?
It's a smart way to do it.
Right?
It's the last piece of pizza syndrome.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nobody ever wants to touch the last piece of pizza, right? Whenever you get a pie and you share with a
course.
bunch of people, and if you didn't pay for the pizza, you never want to grab the last piece of pizza, right?
Of course.
But if they come in and they pay for the whole pizza right up front,
That's it.
and now it's on you guys to just do the work.
That's it.
So you guys do the work, and guess what? I get to eat the last piece of pizza now.
Absolutely.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
Here, I don't think that'll ever.
It's not going to work, and it's going to get worse for the next 4 years. To be very
I think the
honest.
States is different though because the legally it's a lot. You can down there they can sue you for anything and everything and
for looking at you funny.
for funny. So it's a
just
little
ridiculous, yeah.
there. They gotta secure it. I get it, and you're like, okay, it makes sense. But here it would never happen. Someone else will come along, take the job, and you're
But there, I also think they want quality work.
of course.
And their biggest problem is finding good people who deliver quality work
100%.
that speak English.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I used to live in the state. We lived in
part?
Georgia, Atlanta for like 3 years, on and
A
off.
lot of red dirt.
A lot of red dirt.
But it's honestly, if like Georgia is kind of like
Stone
Ontario.
Mountain.
Stone Mountain.
Georgia's like Ontario. It kind of looks like it, like the
Landscape-wise,
landscape wise,
Yeah.
like if you live up north. Like,
But going back
kind
to what I
of
was saying, I have buddies
similar.
in the industry out there now, like from the band, whatever. They're all in contract, you know, work for builders, and they say the same thing. They're like, Andrew, the stuff that you guys do out here, like I see on your Instagram and your website, there's nobody out here doing this. There's maybe 2 guys in all of like Alpharetta, Georgia, with a
you guys
population
are
of
like
like
the top 5. That's what I mean, the top 5%, right? But then
So-
go after those clients.
yeah, you got to go to the States. Because here it's
I know a lot of guys that are just leaving.
Oh yeah, everyone's going.
yeah,
They left during COVID, and now more guys are going to be leaving.
yeah.
Don't
Florida's out the
worry.
window. Everybody and their grandmother. It's like Woodbridge and GTA.
Is that how it is? I mean, I like the
Everywhere
States,
we
but I
turn.
don't love the States, right? I like Europe.
Same.
Europe's a different mentality.
But we're not
right?
taking our work. We're not taking what we have here and going to. I don't know that I haven't looked
You
into.
never know, man.
Is there work in Italy though? Like in
Hey, if we go to Brazil or Portugal, millwork is crazy.
In Brazil?
Brazil's
a
Portugal,
third world country.
but
though.
not okay. But Brazilian speaking is what when I see these guys, some of the stuff they do in small shops
Yeah, it's
in Portugal
crazy.
or I'm like
insane.
blown away.
It's
like
insane.
over here, and like a lot of it's not machine based. A lot of it's like done by hand, and I'm like,
From me speaking to a bunch of people, because I've spoken to people in Brussels, Hong Kong, Greece. Everybody has the same fucking problem, man.
Yeah, I
There's
guess
labor problems. There's clients fucking you over problems. Everybody, it's universal. Construction is absolutely
Yeah.
universal.
absolutely, yeah, you're right.
different languages, but it's the same.
So the Italians are probably having the exact same problem,
course.
right?
well, you can
The
go
only
to like
difference is instead of drywall, you're mounting it to probably stone.
stone.
Yes.
but you can.
Concrete.
But the only difference is that their housing is not what ours is. So you go to Italy, you go to a little small town, you can buy something for like 3,300 or no 30,000 euros.
Yeah, I know. You fix it up. So what kind of kitchen what kind of cabinetry are you gonna put in there? Who's gonna be making it there? Is it gonna be a local craftsman?
That's the thing.
Guy who's like
That's
using a plane.
That's the
like
thing.
old school. You're talking like hand tools to make.
I
a
don't
kitchen.
mind that.
No,
It might take a year or two.
Yeah, for 14 cabinets.
Your production level's not.
We're at
12
this guy's
weeks.
cutting 12 sheets in a week. We're cutting 120 in a day.
We need a whale to die and show up on shore so we can get our glue.
But it's also different. People will pay for that there. It's not going to be like you're getting a constant flow.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I think that there's a lot of those little small towns that I think people are gonna kind of connect with, and they'll want that stuff.
Well, I'm hearing people here being like, "Yeah, I want to I'll move to Italy. I'll move to Europe." I'm like,
I think people just want certainty. They want a happy life.
I just think
They don't
people want to change, want big
Mm-hmm.
change.
Are you guys not worrying about everything these days?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I look at the
I
gas
worry.
prices. I
I
look
worry.
at the cost of material, running a construction company, all the overhead, and then you got to deal with clients that might fuck you over, right?
that's the hardest part.
And then you got suppliers that are like, send you emails. Here's another price increase, guys.
Of course.
Here's another price increase.
But if my price is increasing,
No, it
if I
doesn't.
increase, someone else decreases and gets the job.
I'm going to start complaining about suppliers and price increases because if I start seeing a price increase being sent to me on an email and then I see you guys on a fucking golf tournament somewhere,
yeah, it's brutal.
I have a problem with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, who's eating?
Yeah.
It's like you as a contractor. Imagine you took a job, $500,000 build. You're there all of a sudden, you're very active on the job site, or your communication is there during the pre-construction phase. As soon as that deposit's in hand, job starts, you're in fucking Bahamas.
There was a lot of guys during COVID
call my
doing
guy.
that
My
shit,
guy
eh?
will take care
all
of
the
it.
Instagram
It's the same
GCs,
shit.
They were doing that shit disappearing.
100%.
And then the clients had enough and they started calling the old timers. Can you take over this job? This guy's
For
on
sure.
Instagram all the fucking time.
Absolutely.
I don't post.
Then go be a celebrity. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I say it to him. I go, we had that.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had that fixed.
That's our problem.
I'm not I don't go on Instagram to
Going back to that, like this is the first podcast I think we've ever been on.
Yeah.
since MuchMusic.
Since the
That's like 50. That's more.
when you're on
16,
tour full time,
17
you're doing 2 interviews a day.
It's insane, huh? Same
It's-
questions over and over.
The
yeah.
same shit every day.
How do you guys
And we don't
do
talk
man?
about it. Like this is public. No one knows. Like no one.
No, I knew about the whole press circle thing, and
Yeah.
I would see them, and you always have to have that energy. Like, that's an amazing question. It's the first time I ever fucking heard it
really
in my
like.
life.
Here, look, 2011, we were nominated for Best Rock Video. We won. So we're downtown. We did the
MVPs,
whatever.
yeah.
We walked
Shut
in.
down Queen and John.
down. Yeah.
That whole
Honestly,
deal.
we don't talk about it. Maybe our close family and friends
Yeah.
that kind of know it. It probably one of the best highlights other than having kids is like you're like
You're a rock star.
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So we walk in, congratulations, whatever. So we're all excited. We're taking shots. All of a sudden, half the band leaves. We're like, me, my brother, and someone else. We're like, where's everyone? They get pulled into press
Without
with the award, and me and my brother are there being like, well,
like I wrote
where's
the whole
everyone?
record. Like I physically
Where
wrote
is everyone?
the
We're
whole
like,
I
okay.
physically wrote this song in my bedroom. A year later, it wins Best Rock Video. I mean, they have like Wranglers back in the day, right?
Yeah,
if you
they're
win an
everywhere.
award,
So they couldn't pull the whole band because half of us were still waiting,
It was
and
a shit show.
back there.
We walk up
it
there and I
was a
see
mess.
3 of the. We're 6 guys in the band at the time. 3 on stage.
So you guys are in the audience watching the band.
No,
It's
we're behind. So
Yeah.
they had a wall like yours where they showed every artist that won.
Yeah, they
Yes,
press
yeah.
full,
3
right.
members
of the
of
6.
the 6
of
were
the
there,
six-member band.
and we're behind, being like,
Is this for
Hello?
real? So if you Google it, people now to say like, I want to see a picture of you. I'm like, bro, if you Google like whatever Best Rock Video 2010 or
you
11,
see
whatever it
our
was.
names.
Did you
and
try
stuff.
to get in?
Yeah, we were
wouldn't-
there, but it was
No,
was
no,
like
to
a,
get in on that side.
They wouldn't
Oh,
let.
they wouldn't let you in?
It was
wasn't even-
started because now it's like there's 3 guys there. There's a press room. They're asking all they're doing their photos.
And
You
the
only
3
get
guys
5
are not
minutes.
going, listen, this is not the whole band,
That's-
man. They're not
By the
saying-
time we caught it, it just happened so fast that we were like watching this before our eyes, being like, we're never gonna have this thing. And they only give you one. They only give you
course.
one award.
Of
Like
course.
each
You
award
want
is
a- and then
$1,000
You
bucks.
want one? You got to buy 1,000,
$1,000. And at the time, you're a starving artist. I wasn't
Yeah.
paying $1,000. Years
They're
later, 10
buying-
years,
you got to buy your own fucking award.
100%. They give you one. And the lead singer got it because it's lead singer syndrome. He got to take it home. Long story short, 10 years later, I emailed Chorus or whoever it was that's at MuchMusic.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you can get a hold of this, we'd be surprised. So I emailed the company. They make Junos. They make the Grammys awards, right? It's one big company in the States. They're like, we don't even have the molds for it anymore. Even if we
That's
wanted to
ironic,
make it for
eh?
you.
The Canadian Music Award
Comes
is
from the
produced
States.
in the States.
So I was
Why not
so
make it
because
in
I was
the
like, oh, I got the
backyard?
money. I want to buy this now, right? And there was no way. There was no way to get it.
Does he still have it?
For sure. If he
Somewhere?
hasn't pawned it off.
That's what
No, I
I
don't
mean.
think he
Did he
pawned it.
still have it, or does
I'm
he?
sure.
It's not worth. It's not
No,
like
it's
it's,
just-
a
that's a-
Grammy. Someone will
But
buy
it's a moment in time
It's
that you guys
moment.
missed because of the way it was
Yeah.
all
But it's a
unraveled.
crazy. Like I look at it and I'm like, that was the last time I ever talked. And even like coming here, I'm like, I don't like talking.
Yeah.
How far back? 2010, right?
10, 11.
Yeah.
And then after I
go.
9, 10.
No, it's not too bad. 10, it feels like.
It feels like a lifetime, literally.
Lifetime
I tell everyone, they're like, "Oh my god, it's so crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, that's another life." It
is.
Yeah.
I think anything above a decade. Once you go past a decade, it feels like another life.
Even my kids are like, "Daddy, this is so cool." I'm like,
how old are the kids?
5, 3, and 6, 7 months.
They're gonna get into music.
No, they love it. We
try.
I wanted to bring them to Metallica, but I was like, it's a little too. I would have done it.
Give them a few more years, so.
Yeah.
He's been. They've been to a few shows.
So I still play in a band that tour. We do festivals. I don't know how I fit this into my schedule. Owning 2 businesses and then being in a like we played with Slipknot last year. We took a 10-year hiatus. We were supposed to play one show and just kind of rekindle, and then it just took off. And every promoter's like, "Oh, we'll pay you X amount of dollars." We're like, "All right, I'm flying out, I guess." Right? So
why not do it?
Why not?
Yeah,
I'm single. I don't have the obligation.
So last year,
you're married and tied down.
So last year, I told my wife,
paid.
I go, "Let's go." They're doing the northern East Coast.
Yeah.
Connecticut, Boston. I'm like, "Let's go." She's like, "You sure?" I'm like, "Trust me."
But the worst
best
part
time
is
for the
literally
kids.
this. Like we were playing a festival last year, and it was, I don't know, maybe 25,000 people. And I bring my phone with me on stage, and I have an install happening, a massive install. And they didn't call Dan. Like this guy's gonna answer his phone on a Sunday, so they know call Andrew.
They're calling you on the stage.
I have my in-ears in, okay? Like I'm hearing like our front of house guys, we're going black in 2 minutes. I'm like, yeah, cool. So I'm just on my phone, and I see, I'm not gonna say the name, whatever, installer, and he's FaceTiming me, and I'm like, okay, do I burn the hour because we play for an hour? Or maybe he needs something. So I answer the phone and he's like, "I can't hear you," and I just like went like this, and it's just like 20,000 people, and he's like, "Okay, I'll call you later, no worries." So it was something small and stupid. He needed like
start writing lyrics to the explanation that he wants to solve or something, man.
But it was funny. It's a full circle moment. It's stressful. Still try to do it though,
because you're trying to juggle both of them.
Yeah, but it's like everyone. I tell everyone, I'm like, if you're in music and you get to that level, it's even for me. It wasn't even a job. It was that 30 minutes to an hour on stage.
That's the biggest high you're ever gonna get.
It's the best.
It's like swinging a home run build where it like changes your life.
I don't know. Dude, I think it's.
If you try to compare it, there's no comparison. Construction for us is a job. That's why
your clients know the music background.
Honestly,
some come across some. They find out.
Some Google
early in the.
They Google it.
Some Google our names because they, if it's a referral, maybe they know
Google,
me. Do the Google
and see what comes up first.
And like our link, I tried to I spent time to like kind of SEO this, like bring my LinkedIn and website. But you Google our names, my personal name comes up as artist. Like a Google artist page.
Good.
I can't take it off.
Good.
It's there because you have a discography.
Yeah.
So they laughed. They're like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, that was 10 years ago." Right?
More.
We've done renovations where I've gone to demo a house in Vaughan, and our poster from like our first album was on a wall, and I'm like, "Dan, this is weird."
Should we sign it?
Yeah, right. They just signed
We
it.
did sign that one.
We probably did, I think, because we've called the client.
But it's surreal, and then people. They're like, "Oh, you're normal." I'm like, "Yeah, everybody's."
You're creative and you're normal, and we also have skills to build stuff and put stuff together.
But the two correlate, though.
Of course
Because a lot
they
of
do.
our guys that we toured with all got into construction after. A lot of
a
millwork.
bunch of other bands that we've toured with that were as big.
Contractors,
A few guys out in
Australia?
no
UK?
Yeah, no. Now he's in Australia.
Yeah.
He's a like
you gotta
super
make
artist
ends
and
meet,
cabinet
right?
maker.
Yeah.
All by hand.
Sorry.
We linked up. He's like, "Oh my god, you guys!" He's like, "What the hell? It's crazy." And then a bunch of other guys are contractors or builders, and
Yeah.
Looking for a roof that lasts and a team you can trust? Call Homestar Roofing, your local family-run roofing experts. From shingles to cedar, slate to metal, flat roofs to skylights, they do it all. Residential or commercial, big or small, need roof repairs, consulting, soffit, fascia, gutters, or eavesdrops? They've got you covered, literally. With affordable pricing and a reputation for quality, Homestar Roofing is building roofs and building trust, one project at a time. Visit them on social at homestar_roofing or visit them online, www.homestarroofing.ca, or even call them at 647-380-0625 for your free quote today. That's homestarroofing.ca, where your roof is their reputation. This message is proudly supported by the Construction Life.
I guess it works for everyone. If you're,
It's a good ride.
It's going to be like that the whole time, or are you guys going to eventually let go of the music in full time?
Well, we did 10 years. I didn't go outside for 10 years.
Yeah.
From 2012.
Yeah, the original band from Toronto, we did a reunion in 2016 that kind of like, lights the little flame.
Did one song and kind of.
You're like, hey, it's like that old. It's. I'm gonna go be cliche. Yeah. It's like Rocky. He comes back at 68. No, I can still hit. Like, what the last thing to go is a punch. Your punch as a fighter.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, let's do it. Let's try it. After 10 years, and then that band really didn't play anymore, and then his other band was like, hey, yeah, we're gonna play. I'm like, okay.
That's why I lived in Georgia. The other band's from the U.S., so I was the only Canadian. So trying to juggle that, it's tough.
It is.
It is. And I deal with a lot of the books on both businesses. So it's not like I'm just going to work, punch in, and just rip in the shop for 8 hours. I'm dealing with the stressful, 9 p.m. phone calls and garbage, right? But
the million questions that come up over a million things, right?
And that's the thing, we're very hands-on. We didn't get handed either business. We started it from ground up with, $1,000 bucks.
Eh? That's it.
The millwork shop, everything.
Yeah, but those machines are expensive.
Very expensive.
More expensive than the music gear.
Way more.
Yeah, it depends.
It depends. If it's a professional line array system and
if you're talking about speakers and stuff like that,
you can get up to $1 million for a system.
But for instruments, guitars, drums,
but CNC's machinery and everything. You start getting up to the high 6 figures, no?
Oh yeah,
quarter.
Yeah.
You guys ever look at the machines going, man, we could have bought
a house
all the time. But you know what? They hold value.
Of course.
We were smart. A lot of the day-to-day
they're making you money.
Exactly. Like our CNC, we just talk about this all the time. We bought our CNC slightly used, but we bought a machine that was able to serve.
Better move, no?
100%.
To buy a car, you buy a used
but it's American made, which is not European, where the support is terrible. Because I've had guys use Bessie and whatever. You can't get any support. Ours is a Thermwood. If you know anything about CNCs, they're made in Indiana.
Yeah.
And there's a company in Quebec that just services those machines. So within 4 hours, I can get on a call and there's a guy at my shop.
Taking care of it.
Which is huge. But then everything else, all the other machines, edge banders and stuff like that, we bought brand new. Because they have to be dialed in.
Yeah.
An edge bander, buying a high-end edge bander and bringing it to your shop that's used is like driving someone's 2020 Mercedes that's been souped up. You're I don't know, is this thing going to run? That's the one thing you see on a
you don't want it on a job to fall apart.
No. And you want that shit dialed in.
Yeah.
We spent I remember when we first got our edge bander, we spent probably 5 full 8-hour days dialing in our corner rounding.
Just tweaking it?
Because I wanted the corner round to look a certain way. And he's like, is this good? Nope. Down to 1,000. They have to match 100%.
Holy shit.
So now it's dialed, right? So it's okay, we got to change edge tape. It's still a 6-figure machine, but it doesn't automatically change edge tapes, Yeah. There's some machines out there that'll just kind of pull from where it needs. But it's important.
It's not cheap to.
You go buy an IKEA door. They have some of the best laser edge banding out there. It's crazy, their door quality.
It's IKEA. It's global, man. They probably.
So my head is we got to try to get to that level of store bought. Done in a multi-million-dollar shop.
So how are you guys going to navigate the waters if it's going to be this way for 4 years? That clients are just going to get worse, in my opinion.
Truthfully, we've created a 5-year plan.
So you already started to plan this.
Yeah.
Year.
Yeah.
Our goal.
2 years. No, even during COVID, we were you can prepare for the worst and have money saved, but you still need that.
You gotta have direction.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. Our plan. Ideally, we would love to move operations to the States. It's a big move, but we've been looking at trying to figure out: do we open up another shop there? Do we open up a sales center there and ship? Do we move everything? It's for us, and I think this is because we came from the music and we've seen the world. We've traveled to the UK, Europe. We've lived in the States. There's life outside of Ontario.
Of course there is.
And if you don't know that and you're just a trades guy, you think that this is life. I can't get out. But trust me, you can. Everybody that lives in Boston and New York, at age 18, they're in a U-Haul truck going to LA. They're going to Arizona. They're going to Florida. Everybody I know.
I look at it like this. There's 50 states.
Yeah.
Once you're there, you can go.
Yeah, pick one.
Some are more expensive.
I can't do the cold. I don't know about you.
I'm sick and tired of the cold.
Yeah, me too.
I can't do it.
I'm not a cold
we're in May and it's cold
person or some shit like that.
No, me neither.
I don't care about skiing
I can't be bothered.
Snowboarding. I don't care about any of that crap.
Put me on a beach. I want to melt.
I'd rather sweat than freeze.
Totally.
I don't care what it is.
So that's ours. That's our
same with the job site. It was the same thing.
Same shit.
You layer up on construction sites for the cold. It sucks.
Just think about production in the winter here.
In
any field, whether you're a roofer to an interior,
everything,
you're battling constantly. I'd rather sweat and put an air conditioner unit in.
But then you got to think about, well, you don't have a family, but you got family. You got to think
that's
about
the problem.
He's got a great wife, and like that's the thing. We're brothers in business, so it's
and just go.
And not even just my family. It's like my parents, and her parents,
then you
and
got the elders, exactly.
her grandparents that are still alive, and
these are the big questions that are being asked right now.
That's
right?
hard.
It's the hardest. It sucks because Canada's Canada. It's great. I love it. It's just I don't like any direction we're in. I don't like what the hell we've had for the last 5 years.
10.
Well, mind you, if you go pre-COVID.
Yeah.
But it was pre-COVID. It was very like
no one cared as much as they do.
It was almost like you're blinded. You weren't looking. A lot of people weren't looking the way they look now, pre-COVID. If you know what I mean. Like now, people are aware. They're aware
on
in a way
what's being fed to them.
Yeah,
be aware.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you really, that's why I don't pay attention to mass media. I don't listen to any. I don't read trade papers. I don't.
No, you can't.
Because I don't believe any of that bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
Like once you start discovering that media is being paid,
of course,
to write for a particular agenda,
but it's entertainment.
It is. It's a fucking. It's a soap opera.
That's what it is.
That's what it is right now. It's a soap opera, and you're trying to figure out why the baby's black. That's as simple as that, right?
But what I'm saying with pre-COVID, it wasn't so apparent. People didn't look at it and be like, "Could that really be? Could that?"
Then they question, "Is that really happening?"
Exactly.
And I'm like, "Yeah, it is really happening, man."
Step back and look and be like, whatever you see on TV.
There's far other shit going on.
Oh fuck! You haven't even dove in it. Yeah, you're not. No. You're not even looking at the. They tell you to look there, but meanwhile, they're behind you.
What's that saying? Where everyone's looking in one direction, but the one person's looking the other direction.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that saying was.
Both you guys were on the same page.
I know. I'm trying to remember. There's an actual reason for that. Someone says that, but that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you get a lot of people in construction. They're looking the one direction. They're not looking at everybody else.
Well, think about it. When you're invested into a project, whether it's your business or project, you tend to have the blinders on.
Because you're fixated on what's
the immediate.
Well, exactly.
And but that immediate goal turns into, it feels like 3. You look back, you're like, that was 3 years ago. I'm in the same mentality, or I'm in the same direction.
I remember the last election like that. I remember walking in and voting like that, and that was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, so now we're not going to have it for at least another 4 years. And there's that bullshit about a by-election.
Yeah, he said, "Oh yeah,
it's just more theatrics."
That's all it is.
That's all it is, right? The bottom line is they achieved what they wanted to achieve, which was a continuation of what they're already doing.
Totally.
Is it in the best interest of Canadians? Fuck no.
No.
Put a different mask on the same person.
Yeah. That's literally what it is.
We want a country that's like, we want what your parents were all talking about. You came here, you provided, you worked hard. You didn't have half your paycheck removed because you're being given to taxes where it's like being paid for other bullshit.
Like I said in the beginning, my dad came here with nothing. His family came like
that's all it was.
Barely
it was
a suitcase
beaten,
that was
broken up suitcase.
And my dad says it all the time. He goes, what our family did was a lot of other European families that came over. It was hard, man.
But it was built off that European immigration.
No.
I'm not trying to, go down that road, but that's what it was. The infrastructure was built off that. They came and they worked. And they were inside by 7 when it got dark, they were inside. It's a different time. No one talked back then. It was just, okay, this is what we got to do,
See, but you guys are relatively young in the construction industry. My
10
concern is about all the young people coming into the construction industry and staying in the construction industry.
They won't.
Well,
I see it all. I see it all. We have a lot of our.
Once there's any bit of resistance, like once they find out the truth of, like, you guys were talking about this, I didn't realize it was real. And I'm like, why wouldn't you think it's real? We've experienced it. We've gone through it.
Yeah.
But now they discover it for like a fraction, and they're like, fuck, I'm out. I'm not going to deal with this
It's
shit.
hard.
Yeah.
Then who do you replace them with?
That's
the underground economy is going to come up, and you're going to have shit work.
That's exactly what's
It'll
happening.
Be prefabricated work.
100%.
And then it's going to be like mass production IKEA shit. It's already happening in China.
Yeah.
Packages of home kits are coming over here.
Totally.
Produced there in factories.
Yeah.
China's a scary place when it comes to manufacturing, right?
Totally.
They can do whatever they want.
They literally can manufacture a home and ship it over here or anywhere in the world.
100%.
Kitchen and everything.
Done.
Countertop, everything.
Done.
Packaged.
Yeah.
Saran wrapped.
Saran wrapped.
I'm telling you, fucking true.
It comes in a steel container.
Yeah.
Modular house, a few bolts.
And that's the
panel.
beauty of them. They probably spoke to the IKEA guys to try to figure out how do we pack this to
How's their process?
maximize into the container. We know what the container size is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everything's.
How do we maximize
I'm going to
it?
give you 100 bolts, and this is A to A, B to B, and
Probably like quarter turn lock in bolt.
It's
Probably
not
has a tension strength for a Boeing or something like that. Of course. I don't fucking know. There's some stupid shit being built.
Well, it's like my dad built airplanes at the Havilland. Same thing. It was manufactured in Canada in the 80s, and then late 90s it got sent out, and now it's a puzzle piece. Fuse, tail, wings.
Remember World War II? Was it World War II? The assembly of the Jeep?
Yes.
It would show up in a crate.
In a crate, and they could build it in an hour.
No, they would drop it out of a bomber. It would parachute down. It would open, and they would assemble it in 5 minutes, and then you're gone.
See you later.
That's
Even
70 years ago.
Yeah.
What do you think they're doing today?
Yeah, of course.
They would drop a house and then assemble it. You're gonna it's gonna be George Jetson.
Yeah.
Hit a button and the house
Hit a
unfolds
button.
right there.
For sure.
And then that runs through my mind. It's like you try not to go down the rabbit hole too much, where you become like crazy obsessed, but then you have to keep it there, being like, hey, if shit hits.
My biggest
where do you go though?
concern is like the kids, the young generation.
Yeah, of course.
It's scary.
What are they going to get?
A lot of people don't want to have kids
scary.
nowadays is because
That's why it's.
Well, there's two reasons. They can't afford it.
that.
And then they're worried about what
fear.
will happen to them, right?
Exactly.
Totally.
Like this whole indoctrinating bullshit in schools and crap like that. Like I can never be the parent. I'd be the parent being arrested every single fucking day.
That's what I say.
I'll bring
he
my
hasn't
own
been
fucking
arrested,
plastic
but he's-
handcuffs, right?
Yeah,
like here you
but
go,
he's-
guys. I brought my own.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm
It's
the
like
same
they're
way.
my kids. They're my property. They're mine.
Why don't you guys educate these kids on learning how to
Do their taxes?
taxes
what I
or
say.
money
Oh, but
management?
But why?
I know. Like enough with the fucking Rockefeller shit.
Come
Like I'm
on.
done with this shit. We know about this shit already.
Absolutely.
Let's start teaching these kids to be entrepreneurs. Let's get them.
Yeah.
to
They don't
start
want
designing.
that.
I know
It's a
they
scary
want
place if
workers.
everybody.
They want
Yes,
workers.
it's exactly what it
They're
is.
importing workers and they want to develop workers.
Totally.
Well,
They
it's
hate
like-
anybody who's not a
That
worker.
started because of factory work. They wanted people to fill factories.
Which is great.
But
That's
there will
fine.
always be people that need to work and fill a factory. That's always going to exist.
Unless you go fully automated.
Well, yes, of course. But if you need.
Well, see, that's the. I just said that a few weeks ago on a show, and it's like people start talking about tariff bullshit and all this crap, right? And I said, he's not doing that to bring jobs back into America. He's doing it to bring the factories back into America, but they won't be operated by humans.
No. No, why would they be?
It'll be robotics. Once you set up the factory and you start putting robots in there and start doing it,
And you put 5 people that run the show, and
maintenance, just
that's it.
take
That's
a look
it.
at C3PO here and take a look at...
Or it's not even 5
That's what
guys
it
there.
is.
It's literally people from work from home,
They're
and it's
probably
all
virtually.
computerized. They're all
It's
just
drone fucking, like the drones that are hitting all over the world
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
shipping containers in Vegas.
Yeah.
That's the military workforce there.
Yeah.
But that's the reason for the tariffs, man. So you got to start to wonder, it's Wall-E.
yeah.
Where
Yes.
are people going to do? The only thing you could really do is become entrepreneurs. So you need to give
But-
people creativity.
But it's
That's-
not designed here to be an entrepreneur. Like,
Not in Canada?
financially. Like
No.
you're not. It's not. You're
America's a lot better.
of course.
Yeah.
Europe possibly, Asia for sure.
Yeah. But here it's you're handcuffed in a way where
It's unfortunate because we used to be a country of
course.
entrepreneurs. We're coming up with shit. Like Sustainable House was here first in the 70s.
Yep.
The aeroplane, the Canada arm. Like there
lot.
was
Start
a lot
going
of
back to
shit.
inventions
I
that
know,
have pulled out
inventions.
of
Come
Canada.
up with shit here.
Yeah.
And then, like you guys talk about entertainment. How many entertainers do we know in the film or TV business
if you go
that are Canadian that went to the States or went abroad?
They all
go
do.
and
They
you
all.
look,
They
they
all
all
do.
and a lot of them changed their and you have to do a deeper dive. A lot of them changed their nationality to
Yeah.
Because they don't
They're-
want to have that conversation when they're there.
exactly. But
right?
a lot of them are Canadian.
I know.
Think of the biggest, the biggest artists on top 40 radio. Whether it's Drake,
Right now?
Justin. At one point,
Okay.
Drake, Justin Bieber, and The Weeknd were destroying the charts for 5 years. They were all Canadian artists signed
And
to the
that's
same
recent.
label.
And then you
That's,
got
I'm
bands
just
from the
saying,
80s.
right?
You got one of the
But none of
There
them-
was dozens and dozens back.
yeah,
in
but one of the
80s.
biggest rock bands out of Toronto, Rush.
Rush,
Yeah, yeah.
heavily influencing a bunch of people in America and abroad.
But you're talking a rock band, a prog rock band that helped prog metal, helped. You're like it's not just an era.
But we're not nurturing that.
No, we
there's
never
nothing
do.
here.
We push it once again. What did I say? Like,
You
why did we get
leave.
kicked out of the band?
Yeah,
Was
you-
because we pushed because we realized if we stay in Canada, like technically speaking, if we stayed in Canada, we went down the course that we were going to go, we weren't reaching our full potential.
Yeah.
So our competition in that industry, we needed to go to those producers. In the music industry, you go to the producer, the engineer, the guy that's going to kind of stamp it, and now you've been, vetted in that way, right? So we made that choice. They didn't want to do it because they looked at the dollar amount. Well, a year and a half later, the band broke up. And I said, told you so. I had to sue my best friends to be in a rock band. Because they were like, oh, here's this release form, sign it. And I'm like, well, I think this is like a legitimate company, isn't it? We started it like you're 19 years old.
Technically speaking, it is a company.
It was.
Yeah,
it's an LLC. Or incorporation.
And you guys are all partners.
Exactly. So there were shares there.
Shares, yeah.
So I didn't know, so I gave it to my lawyer, and he was like, wait, don't sign this. I was 19, 20 years old at the time. I didn't know. Piss and vinegar. They're like, sign this, we'll give you your passport and your gear back. That's literally...
They're also young, too. So
what the fuck is your name, Maria?
I don't
understand here, man.
I can't make this shit up, man. I can write a book about it. And yeah, that's exactly how it went down. And my lawyer was like, no, absolutely not. So imagine you grow up with these guys 10 years being a band.
Money fucking amplifies who really is anybody at their core.
And it's like the business was worth $500,000 at the time at 19 years old.
You don't think straight at 19 years
old.
No. That's what I'm saying is if you're on the path of being a villain, you're going to be a villain.
That's it.
If you're on the path of being a hero, you're going to be a hero, right? What's the difference? Both of them had their parents killed in front of them.
Totally.
Exactly.
The only difference is one chose another path.
Exactly.
That's all it is,
right?
Man.
And that's what we say. It's like, the good thing is you go through everything and you learn.
Yeah, it makes you jaded a little bit.
But you still learn, and it shows up in a different way. So you got to okay, there's different versions of those mistakes. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, yeah.
It's not like just one way. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to do it that way anymore. No, it comes out and it comes in a different way. And you're like, oh, let me try this. And it's kind of like the same thing. You're like, oh, it's just disguised differently.
But it's just a job. He tells me that all the time. So I'm trying to manifest it into my life.
The music?
No, just this. Well, it's a job. We're business owners, but we also have to put...
But there's passion associated
No.
with job.
That's that you can't take out of someone.
A garbage collector is just a job.
100%. But I'm saying sometimes you become...
Dump it.
But if he's that guy that comes and makes a fucking mess from the one house down... 15 houses later, there's garbage.
But with that being said, I'm assuming that everybody that does their job does it with the same level of integrity and passion. They don't. But in my head, that's how I am, so that's how I, kind of perceive it. But it gobbles you up, man. Business gobbles you up.
Attention contractors and construction professionals. Do you feel like your expenses are way too high? Imagine cutting your spending by 28%. At Schooley Mitchell, they dig deep to help you save on essential expenses that could be impacting your bottom line. Their risk-free analysis allows you to concentrate on your trade while they find those savings for you. Don't let extra expenses keep you from achieving the success you deserve. Reach out today to schedule your risk-free analysis and unlock your savings. Find them at www.schooleymitchell.com/AEGIUGGIO/about. Or reach out to them at erica.jugio@schooleymitchell.com. This message is proudly supported by the Construction Life.
Being an entrepreneur.
That's why I'm not shocked when I see certain people just fucking walk away for certain deals.
Yeah.
Like I'm old enough to remember the Dave Chappelle deal that he walked away from. Yeah. And I saw it and I was like, I understood it when he did that. I totally understood it. Now he's collecting the paychecks. He doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't give a shit, yeah.
Right? But all the other people that just all of a sudden, why would you walk away from that? That's a fucking huge deal. Maybe there's reasons.
What's attached to it?
Well, we walked away from that.
Oh, the music industry in itself is the most and we're not talking about now we're going down a whole nother.
I know that it's fucked up.
Yeah. It's not. People are like, oh, like the Illuminati. No, that's not what it is. There's a higher society.
There's some evil people in there.
When I mean some shit that I've seen over 10 years of being in it at a young age, I was like, Italian Catholic raised, good morals.
My mother was like, yo, walk, or my father walk
Walk
the straight path, and you can have fun, but you have to.
We're 17 and both left at the same time. We didn't choose college. We didn't choose that. We left from high school. We got signed, and my mom was like, both my kids are leaving the house, going on a tour bus halfway across the world. I don't know what they're doing.
Oh, I think about it now. I'm like,
that's fucking crazy.
Would you let your kids do that?
That's one of
those questions.
In today's climate,
no.
I don't know. I don't know. That'd be a tough one.
The thing is, I say it to my wife. I go, maybe I'd have to go with them.
Yeah, but
I'd have to be there. But it scares the shit out of me because half the time I look back and I'm like, bro, we drove through the Arizona desert.
Yeah, I know.
19-year-olds in a fucking van that couldn't even drive, wasn't even able to drive that far, and you're like, we came back.
When you look back, I don't know.
You're like, what the fuck?
That's like one split second away from a horror movie, like some.
I'm not.
Many times, if I tell you,
we've driven down the old Route 66, in with tornadoes that were coming in. No, I'm not lying. Like we would turn around and try to get out. It's
scary shit.
You see shit
with
like
MapQuest.
Oh yeah, it would have been.
Or a Garmin that was like,
Pearlies.
Yeah, barely
just
worked.
in case
So we're not
dies.
like, we're young, but yeah, we're like, where the fuck are we?
It's like, why is that road not there anymore?
You know?
New construction, road change.
Get a Sharpie, extend that fucking
Extend
road.
it.
So it's like one of those, I don't know. I'd probably not. I would want them to play music, but fuck, to tour in a van.
There's a lot of fucked up people nowadays. That's why.
That's why.
They look normal, but they're fucked up.
They
have some really fucked up intentions.
Totally.
It's scary.
And it's when you think about it, you're like, we were like, what business did we have signing a record deal at 16 years old without real, like, we had a lawyer.
You don't. You need representation.
We did, but guess what? It was their representation representing us.
That's what I was just about
and
to
this
say.
is like Universal Records. Like, I'm not talking like some indie label. Okay,
No, I know. That's a big deal.
Hey, you know, an average lawyer is $14,000 to review these
we
documents.
can give you ours
for free.
Don't mind the pitchfork, but we'll give you ours.
Exactly.
or the.
How come there's no red lines here? How come everything is just printed and we're just signing this?
All
Everything
it is
makes
a bunch of arrows. Just arrows, sign here,
arrows,
sign here,
that's
sign
it.
here. That's all it is.
I remember still to this day walking into the office at Universal with the owner, and he's like, looked at his calendar, and he's like, oh, we got 10 minutes because we were filming for MuchMusic to do our, you know, they were filming us being signed, right? It was a part of the TV show. And he's like, I remember walking in being so excited, thinking I'm going to meet this guy. Like, Drake was just signed to Universal. This was like huge. We're a metal band in that realm, which is unheard of. And he looked at his calendar, was like, all right, guys, we got 10 minutes. And the production team came in, filmed, and I was like, this is all happening within 10 minutes. My whole life is going to change, but it's just
we're like literally
minutes?
signing on TV.
It's like cattle.
Like, are we going to read this? Oh no, that's fine. It's all that.
Yeah, still, it's the same draft we had from last week, and I'm like,
it's not the same. Was it the same? Everything was fine.
Yeah. No, we were fucked. It was a 360 deal.
Yeah.
Record deal where no matter what you do,
sign a record deal, it's 360 degrees, and they own you outside of the band.
Fuck that.
You want to start another band?
Fuck that.
They got first refusal to take you.
Yeah. See what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody wants to
there was
jump
no,
into
but there was
it.
no Instagram. There was like MySpace at the time, pure volume.
Ben Affleck said it recently. He was like, "Listen, everybody wants to be rich and famous." He goes, "Fuck famous, just be rich."
Just be rich. Absolutely.
I don't need to show you what I can wear jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised how many jeans.
I don't want to be
t-shirt.
recognized everywhere. I don't nobody wants to be famous.
Nobody
famous.
does.
And that's what you learn
Nobody
too. Is
does.
like, you want it, and then you get there, you only want to play the music. You don't. Want
And
the
there's a
shit
come
behind
down
the
from
scenes.
it. There's a mental. I know when I came back from tour and my life was so fast paced, then I had to go into just like silence at home.
Of course, because
all my friends had careers, and I come home and I'm like, this is it's quiet. Like, I'm used to like fast paced, different city every day on tour, and then I'm like, hey, it's Wednesday night, bro. You want to go grab drinks? No, man, I gotta be up early in the morning for work. And now all of a sudden I'm like, 19, drinking beers in my basement by myself, kind of thing.
Mike check.
But last week I was like in front of 20,000 people. This doesn't make any sense. So there's a whole industry on that mental health that no one talked about back then. Now there's companies and
Yeah, but
foundations.
artists back then in the old days, they just dealt with it with just drugs and women, man.
That's it.
That's all. Both of them solved the problems
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
and wrote lots of songs.
Yeah.
Created more problems too.
Totally.
But now it's even harder because like a buddy of ours passed away years ago, and his family and the band that he was with started a foundation for musicians with mental health, trying to cope with not touring anymore or adjusting outside,
which is good.
It's like being in the army. You come back, you have PTSD from.
It's a real thing, but no one talked about it.
It's true.
And I'm sure it's even in this. You have a successful business in construction, and
it just stops. I'm sure all the guys that are getting close to retiring probably wonder the same thing.
kind of thing.
And
I'm so used to the hustle and bustle. Clients calling me up, complaining, having arguments, being on site, producing product, delivering it.
And then even that, it's like they've had their investments, and now it's like looking back, and now they're looking like, oh my god, I'm gonna get this taken away, taxed, and it's not, things aren't worth it the way they plan it out to be, or the way it was.
Yeah, that's what we did with my dad. He worked at de Havilland, and we started our businesses without that help. We weren't that like typical. Oh, my dad had the company. We come in and just whatever.
No, they gave you verbal help.
That's it.
And support.
And support mentally, just to be like, hey, get through it, whatever.
Yeah.
And my dad was at he had like maybe 2 years left, and I was like, Dad, I'll be honest with you, I need a guy to just come and sweep the floor.
I just need you there.
When we were doing the rentals heavily, like we had at the time, we were probably a crew of 6 guys, me, you, and we had like 2 full-time project managers, 2 guys, and plus, but I needed a guy to just an older figure there. We were 25 years old. Many times clients would ask me, that's a lot of money. Like, how old are you? And I'm like, doesn't matter. Here's my work. Here's my portfolio. What does that matter? Oh, but how much? And then that's what it was. I still look young, I think. We still get it. 35.
Yeah, you look young for sure. You do.
Right? That's got the beard, so I tell them to keep the beard.
Yeah.
But the narrative,
just because the clients think you're fucking too young to be carrying this project?
Absolutely.
Really?
Have you had guys? GCs are maybe not. Like I'm talking from when I was 25. 26.
You're talking like 10
I
years.
never gave a
10
shit about that. I gave a shit
Your
about
quality.
skill.
What's your skill,
How
kid?
skilled are
Yeah,
you?
I want to talk to you, and then I know if I am smelling
Let me see you
bullshit.
cope that. Let me see you cope
Let me
that
see
baseboard.
Yeah, exactly.
And in
I don't
10
care
minutes,
if
you're like, you're fucking
You could have
good.
been a 10-year-old kid.
But you know what,
Carry
though?
it. Carry it.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing, though. Back then, there wasn't YouTube the way it is now. There wasn't Instagram. It wasn't. You could show your skill the way it is now.
Yeah.
You'd have to physically pull you in a room
Yep.
and be like, "Hey, watch me,"
Yeah.
or whatever. You're watching your trade work. You're like, yeah, that guy's solid, or that guy's shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you go on YouTube. And I'll go back to music. There's drummers that are like 15 years old, that are like, they're ripping. You're like, what? Where was I?
They had an advance though because they got to see a bunch of shit that you guys
Technology.
never saw. I know.
And even now with construction, you want to learn how
kind of
to
shit.
learn how to do something.
You
YouTube.
can pick it up.
Yeah.
I know.
It's good and it's bad because
It saturates things.
it's hard because you take time, like you perfect your craft. Musician, carpenter, plumber, anybody in a trade, or I call music a trade because you're still learning how to play drums,
course.
guitar, bass, even a sound guy or a grip, stage guy. That's their trade, right?
Yeah.
Now it's so easy. You wanna buy a drill? Home Depot. Where was Home Depot when you
Start
had
building
it?
something. There was nothing. It was
Aiken
Aiken
heads?
heads, beaver lumber.
Yeah,
and
but
it
you
was
couldn't-
bare basic tools.
Yeah, but it was basic. Amana, we call it, by hand. You want to build something by hand.
Yeah.
It
Now-
wasn't take your deposit. Those contractors take your deposit and they come in with like their unboxing tools and fucking brand new truck. That's
That's how it used to be.
Yeah. But it is what it is. It's the industry. But yeah, going back to what I said, I told my dad, I was like, retire early and come with us. And I'm telling you, the narrative switched. It switched real
Once
fast.
they started seeing them,
Oh yeah. They
the patriarch was here.
Yeah.
100%.
Kind of mentality.
100%.
He's
My dad was a
guiding you
framer when he
guys.
was 22 years old, but then at 24, whatever, 24,
he
he got
got
out
in
of
there
it.
and-
So he understands construction, but he never once said, "Oh, this is my company. These are my kids." But the narrative switched. Everything switched. Did people's
His clients would be
demeanor?
a little nervous, right?
100%.
But yet, aren't they hiring the young designers?
What I was just gonna say.
And
So,
they're
Kate,
not that fucking talented. I'll just throw a blanket on that shit.
Yeah.
But I think
Some are.
but I think designing takes years of experience.
It takes.
And it goes back. You have to have that creativity in you.
You have to have a connection to the construction
Kind of
site.
industry.
Yeah,
No, but
like-
that's first and foremost.
Of course.
You can see we deal with a lot of designers. The ones that you can tell have their shit together are the ones that know what's behind the design.
Yeah.
Not just,
In the
hey, we did this
walls,
on
in the
CAD.
floor.
I know.
And I'm like, hey.
Photos and shit and talk.
Yeah.
I know.
And then they know the difference between a butt joint and a miter and how this is framed. Is it 16 on center, or is it going to be 24 on center? Not like it's all good on paper.
Not trends. Not latest trends.
I don't give a fuck about your Taj Mahal. Everybody's doing Taj Mahal and walnut or whatever and white oaks.
That's
That's not a designer.
What the fuck is Taj Mahal?
It's just a stone that it's just
marble.
like yeah, it's a stone. It's
Countertop?
like, yeah,
What's it look like?
it looks like a gray veined fucking not gray veined taupey. It's a stone.
Where's it from? Italy? No.
No,
I don't even know.
no, I don't even know where the fuck it's from. But it's just that standard stone that now everybody's like, oh, now
Remember
we got
Calcutta?
now we got
Like
a porcelain.
the-
Okay, all right.
That
But-
type of tile or that stone, the Calcutta or the
I don't pay attention to
Sorrentos.
stones. I swear to people are like, oh, you do stone. No. I
The
don't give a
majority of people
shit.
want man-made stones right
Yes,
now
of
because of
course.
the mentality of
Right.
maintenance free. And I
Quartzites
was
and
like,
stuff.
listen, it's a home.
Yeah.
Live in it.
Live in it.
Enjoy it. Let your kids fucking break something,
break it.
scratch something.
That's it, absolutely.
Spill some wine. Have
Absolutely.
sex with your wife on the kitchen
the
countertop.
that's
here.
it,
pretty much.
Damage it.
Damage it, yeah.
The countertop, not the wife.
Not-
The good thing is like we test them out on our own houses, so it's like okay, put it in.
That's what I
test
mean.
it out with 3 kids, and I have and I have a big dog.
Here's a paycheck. You guys are our R&D.
Go for it. Exactly. No, seriously, like even products, people are like, oh, but I heard there's bad reviews on this brand. I'm like, I have it in my own house.
Who?
From who? From the other competitor writing 15 people that you paid to write bad reviews?
Absolutely. Your budget's X amount of dollars. We're going to go with this floor. And I put it in my own house. The last 5 flips I've done, this has this exact same floor. And I haven't had a call back.
But we test it out. And then having people like my dad, I got it in my floor. My dad just talks to everybody on... He's great that way. He's that.
You know, but it worked. But
I got it in my house.
He probably walks away from them and he winks at you guys.
Yeah.
It's all good.
That's it.
Like, we love your dad. He's so personable. I'm like, you know what? He's great. Yeah. He's great.
But we started from ground up. Like we never had that. Which I guess, we didn't have that ability to kind of maybe scale at the level. When I look back now, the scalability was hard at a younger age. Starting a construction company and being in business 15 years and staying afloat, never bankrupting yourself is huge. We never bid off
far few.
Yeah, but we always say this: we never bid off more than we couldn't chew.
That's the thing. You guys planned it correctly.
We were on the tools.
Nobody, you guys never let it get to your head, and probably that's something to do with the music.
100%.
Well, look, I look at.
We were never good. You know what?
Even for me to come on your podcast, I was like,
why?
I don't. Even when we were even in the band on MuchMusic,
you reached out to me first.
Yeah, we were. We
but
discussed,
even when we had interviews in MuchMusic, I never talked. I didn't really.
You were quiet?
I was the guy. You keep the drummer in the back. But when he starts talking,
you can't shut him up. See what I'm saying?
Sure, I'll
if you do the ratio here, it's 90% dead.
But no, it's more good. Like I don't like the line. It's weird. I was on it in a fucking band on TV. I was
just do your thing and get the fuck out.
But you were a drummer, poor guy. But he's a drummer in the back,
It was more of I love the music. I loved playing music. I didn't give a shit about the fucking money or anything else after that.
Yeah.
It was the music, playing on stage.
Well, he says it all the time now. He's like, when did it become a trend to just be this like Instagram contractor? And I go, Dan, this is the industry, bro. It's unfortunate.
It's celebrityism. That's all it is. It's just bullshit.
And I don't need
a guy last week was a banker. Quits his job because he did a house flip with his wife. And now he's a contractor on Instagram. This happens more. Maybe it's my generation.
I don't understand this Instagram famous bullshit.
But how the fuck is it even like, how do people not see through that shit? Chat GPT script, write me a script. The guy's sitting there and you can tell he's reading. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
Three-way the world. These little puppies. I'm speaking from experience. I've actually installed these and I love these. Three-way prefabricated inside drywall corner. The first one-piece solution for perfect, crisp corners every time. With three-way, you'll improve your quality, save on labor, and cut down on time. Traditional methods require 3 tapes, lots of sanding, and high skill. But with three-way corners, they install in just a fraction of the time with fewer steps. It is adjustable for any angle, reinforced to cover gaps, and designed to blend seamlessly into the corner. Say goodbye to pesky touch-ups and hello to flawless finishes. Try three-way today and revolutionize your drywall game. Perfect corners every time. To purchase or check out some how-to videos to see the installs in action, visit threeway.ca or connect with them at 306-514-3768 or drop them an email at threewaytheworld@gmail.com. Connect with me, TCL, and stop by the studio and get a free pack on us for anyone to try. And trust me, I'm telling you, you'll love it. This message is proudly supported by the Construction Life. I read recently where studios are hiring actors based off their Instagram following.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That makes no fucking
makes
sense.
No sense.
No, it's.
I know it's a thing,
because they realize it's
but
the
it
pull.
makes no sense. To me.
Even writing a song nowadays, it goes to a committee. Is that?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Hear me out. Is it TikTok worthy?
Yeah. If I tell you,
is it?
Like we're on a record label still, and we're going based off of
TikTok worthy.
When we were signed to Universal, the biggest record label, there was no like record pre-planning. All it was here's your publishing for the record, here's the marketing plan, basic. Okay, that's for like $1 million record. Wow. Now, and we're putting out new music with my other band, and it's literally like, yes, this has TikTok virality to it. So we're gonna line up these influencers to post this. These are the reaction videos that are gonna go on YouTube. Now it's the same thing as DeWalt saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna name names. Review this tool." Here, fast.
I know.
There's guys that review it honestly and they don't get it. But then there's people like, hey, here, I'll give you whatever. Like, I'm assuming you get money.
Of course you get money for it. Of course you do.
Right?
So
there's guys out there that we're great friends with that do that, and it's knowledgeable shit. you know. But there's guys out there that you
I know,
see.
but if you're just taking the paycheck,
no, that's trash.
I can smell right through it. And I don't give a shit about it, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like anything. How can you say it's TikTok worthy when the song hasn't even been released? You don't have listening parties anymore.
They know. There's like algorithms to this
Because they
shit.
control it.
Yeah.
What happens though if you get a government who shuts down because there's a threat of X being shut down?
Yeah.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
100%.
directly related to Elon, or is it there's also a threat of TikTok being shut down in Canada?
Yep.
The problem is that you get a whole
censorship.
generation right now getting their information from social media.
And building their lives on this, though. What happened? We say this all the time. We can quit our job tomorrow and probably fall into a trend and do something on social media. I can find something to do. I'm sure.
But what happens if that avenue gets shut down?
Now
Yeah,
what?
then you're SOL.
I was going to ask you as a drummer, because I'm just curious. I'm an 80s kid, right?
Yeah.
Would it be fucked up if you started drumming on a synthesized drum kit?
Like electric?
Yeah.
I have them.
Is that not like a sacrilege thing?
Okay, so
I don't know, because I don't know if you're a drummer, you're a drummer, right?
It's a well, mind you, the first electric drum
70s?
set came out in the late 70s.
Yeah.
Tama, it was Tama and Yamaha, I think.
But then it was all 80s and that shit.
In the 80s, they mixed in, like, there were certain bands, like, that just had an electric drum set, and then there's certain bands that had the hybrid, half and half.
Yeah.
And then real drum, people got out of them because they were sounding cheesy. Like, the sounds were cheesy.
Compared to the electric?
No, the electric drums in the 80s were cheesy.
They
sounded
totally
cheesy.
cheesy.
Compared to.
So everyone went back to real drums, and now with the technology, like I have an Alesis, like a real electric drum set, one of them, and we hear it say it all the time. It sounds. You close your eyes, it sounds
Really?
incredible.
Oh, it's ridiculous. If you put it, we said it. We've tested it. Like if you put it on a big stage, the only time you can tell the difference in a
Stage
small room,
volume.
you don't get stage volume. So
Like
if you go
if
to
I-
like a 500 cap venue, 90% of the projected drums that you're hearing, the snare drum, a lot of like the higher end frequency that have like they can project and cut, you hear from the stage more than
The PA.
More than the PA. But if you're electronic, now there's no stage volume, so it's like essentially isolated.
Well,
So if you have a big enough room
you can't
to
judge it,
you
or-
can't judge. It sounds odd. Something sounds funny.
Well, because drums are it sound waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's energy.
Yeah.
It's
So
distortion in the room,
You hear
right?
an 18-inch depth bass drum. You feel it come through. Like you're not just hearing it out of a speaker. That's the difference. Like on a acoustic kit, a real, like I have 2 Tama Star Classic Maples. They're like the highest end you can get. You hear that opposed to even $1,000 drum set, the cheaper one. You're sonically hearing a crazy.
But now if you go to
difference.
Rogers Center and you plug it into their PA system,
No,
you can't
it
even.
doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter because the PA can overpower the stage volume.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Like when we went to go watch Metallica, we were like hundreds in the artist section, and there was like, bro, you couldn't even hear. I couldn't even hear the actual drums on stage. All I heard was PA. So with that being said, it depends the application,
Depends on the venue.
the venue more so than anything.
So it really, like, it benefits if it's a proper venue.
Proper
If it's
mass.
a small venue, you want to contain.
Like Massey.
Yeah.
versus-
Massey, you still wouldn't hear the stage.
Oh, you still wouldn't? Really?
probably not.
Not really, because their line array system's like at least an 8-box aside,
Yeah, it's big.
10 dual
Is
sub.
Horseshoe still around?
Horseshoe
think so.
Tavern.
Are they
But
still
that's
around?
more of
Yeah.
like that's
A
an
bar.
Bar. That you would
eclectic,
notice the difference.
small-
You would notice it.
Of course.
Okay.
But in some applications, people want electric because you can tame the volume. You can't tell a drummer, "Hey, play softer."
Well,
it
you-
doesn't exist.
If
Doesn't
you're
work.
really good,
depends what
yeah,
genre
you
you're
could have.
playing. Like it's not.
But if you're playing metal, you're not playing soft. Like you can kind of play soft if you're like into speed metal and you're just very technical. But if you're playing heavy, you're gonna play heavy, hear heavy music. It's all flows together. They're good.
It's not
I love it. My
upon
kids like to
nowadays.
play on it.
I was just curious because I guess back in the day in the 70s or 80s, would it have been like you either ride a motorcycle or you ride a Vespa?
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. That's kind of what it was.
Back
probably
then.
back
Yeah.
then.
I don't think a real drummer would have been.
But also back then,
Yeah.
they didn't have the boards. They're analog.
Yeah.
So like an electric kit, you still need a brain with a mixer on it.
Yeah.
So technology back then was very, very.
Now it's just.
It's now you
fucking
can
push a button.
It's crazy. If you look at pictures of an electric drum set and an acoustic drum set, you're like, fuck, this thing's all. It's all.
Yeah, you're at $15,000 for the highest end electric kit that plays and feels like a real kit. But even that, going back to guitar amps, I'm a guitar player. I tour with a rig that's this big. when we go on stage, we put our in-ears in, you can't hear us on stage. You don't hear what we're doing on stage, and everything's DI through a box. There's no more amps.
Fucking changed.
15 years ago, you had to roll around
back in the
with
day, you see fucking massive.
Yeah.
Those are all dummy cabs. Those would all be dummies. They'd be like they'd be made in a shop. They put a Marshall logo on it, and they're dummy. They're hollow.
Well, no, even when you
just for photographs,
just to make it look like stage.
Like your
props,
last amp was 5150 PV, like the Eddie Van Halen head tube amp. Warm, took like 10 minutes to warm up. You couldn't just turn it on and start playing.
Yeah, you go tour.
Hey,
but you tour in the winter with that. You turn it on one day, it doesn't work because we just drove through -20 and the tubes are done now. So now we got to change tubes out.
And in the back of a trailer,
right? But this is just
down
like
the road. Tubes break.
2 DI lines to the front of house, and you're done. You can fly with
back
nothing.
to it. It's all technology. It's
technology's killing music, though, man.
of course.
Yeah, of course it is. AI is scary.
Like even watching Metallica, you watch them. You watch their old videos of like the 80s,
yeah, but
90s.
give them the break. They're
all,
65 years old.
No, but even Sonic, like sound wise, you can hear the difference in like what amps they were using, and
They go easier
then
now.
to
They
now.
want
You can probably
technology.
hear it in magnetic tape, eh? If people still have originals or masters. Right?
My dad still has his record collection, and you go back and you hear like funk or
You'll
metal,
hear it.
You sonically hear him.
You fucking hear
come
it.
through, and you're
I
like,
know.
holy shit, it's a big difference.
But today's generation doesn't hear it or doesn't even care.
Doesn't
about
even care.
hearing it.
No.
They want crisp, clean shit.
Crisp, fast fashion, fast audio, fast. Everything's fast
Well,
nowadays.
and now music's all under like 2 minutes, and they're like under 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
radio
when was the
song.
last
They
long,
don't
long
want, like,
song
long
that we ever
songs.
heard?
Oh, it doesn't
The
go on
attention
radio
span
past 3
is gone.
minutes.
What's radio?
True. Well, Well, he's talking like our radio is like Sirius XM.
If you want to kind of hear
I'm
like
still surprised that radio's around.
True. It's
Their advertising dollars has got to be fucking dwindling. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know who the
garbage.
fuck's advertising on
well,
that
radio
shit.
only plays like I think 50 songs, and it's all in
and
rotation.
it's got to be Canadian.
Talk
Already
about
got to put a certain-
maximizing payola. That's all it is, man.
Yeah.
It's a
Payola.
smaller pool of music to payola. That's bullshit, right?
Yep. It's one of those like. It's unfortunate that's why I go back. I would love to be in the like mid 80s, where it's like the peak of everything.
Well, you had so many different genres that were just overlapping each other and shit.
It's not even
right?
just music, fashion,
Everything.
build. You if
Everything.
you if you're building
was
skyscrapers in the
I know,
80s,
I know.
that's like some crazy shit. You go back, you're like, how
I feel like the earth is just like one big vending machine. You
course.
just give me G6, right? You just let it coil, all right?
come
It's kind
down,
of true.
grab it.
Yeah.
That's why I said 80s, or like for me,
Yeah.
I'm an 80s baby, anyways. Born in 88.
No, I was born in 71, man, but I grew up as a kid.
You grew up in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Right?
and everything. It's all nostalgic now. Everyone wants. What?
Yeah, I just passed A-Track, and I grew up on cassette,
Of course.
mixtapes, cutouts for little fucking cassette cases.
Go buy cassettes
The
now.
vinyl?
Go buy cassettes.
Can you buy them?
Yeah, go on Facebook. They're like, you want to
Well, I
buy.
buy Polaroids for
You want
this
to buy a
one.
lot?
Yeah.
$600 for 100 cassettes.
And people were
Seriously?
just tossing him.
Back then, you tossed them. Now they're valuable. You buy cassettes.
I have a whole collection of cassettes.
Keep them.
Man.
It's like
And
Pokemon
vinyl, too.
cards.
Vinyl, yeah, keep them.
I know I'm not getting rid of any of that shit, but
So-
eventually it's going to be given to somebody one day,
sure.
right?
But it's all nostalgic. Everyone wants like I have old like I have classic cars, and one of them still has tape, and I'm like, I go, but the speakers are shot. Like
That's not the point.
It's not the point. It's you actually hear the analog come through, and you're like, oh fuck, that sounds totally different than on an iPad or your phone.
I always
or-
preferred Magstripe, man. Seriously,
course.
I always preferred it.
It goes back to anything, man. Our shop where where we're
Same
at,
thing,
the guy,
handcrafted
the guy
shit.
before us,
I know.
we're renting off. Like, listen, we're located it's Armand Lake to buy the building, so whatever, we got to rent. But the guy there that owns it was a millwork guy. So he's like 75 years old. He pops in. I go, you know what? Keep the key. Come in anytime. I'm happy to have you here.
Good.
Hey, bring some business sometimes. But in reality, it's just having a guy there that's been in this since he was 25.
Yeah. He walked in, and the machine was on, and he's just standing like that.
And he's just watching his CNC, and
For
he's
like
just
15 minutes, my dad's there, we're all whatever, and he's just watching. He's like,
he goes, this is crazy. Italian guy. He goes, everything, if it's a flat wood, it's okay on this machine. But what happens when you have to start to do the molding? I go, hey, thank God we don't do a lot of that. The industry is this is what it is.
He's a guy who rolled up in a horse and buggy, and he just saw the car for the first time. That's all it is.
It's great work. Like he's done some of the
massive
projects.
It's a lot. Back then, everything was by chisels, planes,
and they did it right. And it's still in a lot of homes.
And that's what he said. He's like, all my work is still up.
Yep. It's not the metal.
In the houses they are in, they're up.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey,
whether they're repainted, resprayed, whatever, but still there.
I got to do the 12 questions, man. I could fucking keep on talking to you guys forever, man. I'm trying to figure out who else is. No, we're good. What time is it right now? No, we're still good. 12 questions. www.sposakitchens.com. info@sposakitchens.com. On IG, Sposa Kitchens. 647-291-4840. I appreciate you guys coming in, man. I appreciate you reaching out.
Of course, man.
Shit, man.
We're not talk too much construction. We talk a lot of music and shit, but
dude, man, it's a construction life, man.
Different.
It's
everything attached to it.
It's just how it is. I talk about people who are in construction, out of construction. I had a person here the other day who she does antiques. She just goes to antique markets, and we had a great conversation about the craziness on the auctions and shit like that, the characters and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
She's gobbling up all these things that are being found in different homes and stuff, and then trying to sell it to other homes and other people.
There's a market for everything.
There's a market for it.
Totally.
Of course.
A person you would trade places with for a day.
Oh, my dog.
Stallone.
Stallone?
Bro, this is Dan's a Stallone fanatic. He's going to answer Stallone for
I got
every
a lot of
question.
respect for Stallone. You know, they're making, Amazon's making a biography about his life, making Rocky.
Yeah.
My name is Rocky or something like that.
Yeah. I went
they started shooting it, I think.
I went to the Stallone premiere down when he did his Sly biography. Oh man, if you watch, that guy was given nothing.
You been to Philadelphia?
Yeah. Did the Rocky Steps last year with the kids.
Yeah, it was
the kids
a long time
it.
ago. I know. They moved the statue.
Yeah. They brought it back.
Did they bring it back?
Yeah.
When I was there, they just had the footsteps there.
No, they brought it 2 years ago. They brought it up, and then it came back down. But now they have the shop next door, so you can go buy all the memorabilia you want. Yeah.
He's a smart guy. He's written a lot of shit.
He's smart, man. He plays. You know, he's that kind of actor where he gets stereotyped into that style or action /
But that's the 80s, man. That's what it was.
Totally.
But, you know, yeah, that's why.
What kind of dog you got?
French Bulldog.
You want to be a French bulldog?
I'm a fucking clown. I should be Dan's dog. Dan's got a Cane Corso. A fucking big boy.
With 3 kids? Probably adorable with him, right?
Yeah.
When I'm working or I'm out, the dog's there. Don't worry, the house.
If he doesn't know you,
nobody wants to fuck with it. No. If you know what a Cane Corso is,
yeah. Google
they're pretty big.
Google it.
King guilty pleasure.
Oh, guilty pleasure. My guilty pleasure is probably, I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure, but I just doom scroll on the toilet for like an hour and a half. But it's where I get
to the
my
point where the legs get fucking
dude,
seized?
Kind of, yeah, same.
Can't walk, can't get up. Oh fuck.
Yours is the same?
Bro, Dan's the same. You use doom scroll too.
Yeah.
But I think it's where I get a lot of our thinking.
Construction or just a variety of shit?
Yeah, that's if we're going Instagram.
Music,
yeah,
right?
a lot of.
I love sound systems. Like I have
another business on top of the other businesses.
PA systems. So we do like live sound. So I have a line array, and I just love like the technology in speakers is crazy.
Who's got a good turntable these days? Or you got to go old school? Techniques.
Yeah.
Techniques is where
if
it's
you
always
find
been.
them. They still sell them.
Do they don't make them?
Yeah, you want a turntable for DJing or you want a turntable for like playing a record? Yeah, you go with techniques.
Techniques, right? Yeah.
It's pretty standard.
But then you can go audio, like you can go USB or you can go.
That's the problem.
Old school.
Yeah, they make
USB.
They make like digital record
player.
Digital outputs.
So what are you doing? You put the vinyl on there and you're recording?
It comes out USB,
USB
into your computer or whatever you want to play it out of.
That ain't right.
It's like a sound card.
Digital.
It's like essentially like that. Like your podcast.
Yeah, but that ain't right.
No.
I don't know. That's just not right to me.
No, it's not. No, nothing is now.
I want to hear Snap Crackle Pop, man.
Yeah.
Least favorite tool?
Oh, fucking multi-tool, man. Would you say oscillating tool?
Yeah, that's a multi-tool. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same
We both
one?
said the exact same thing.
Biggest risk you guys ever took?
Biggest risk.
Starting this business.
Yeah, starting a business.
Doing well.
Honestly, the millwork side probably. Construction is easy. The millwork side, yeah, that was the biggest risk.
Best compliment you guys ever got?
Best compliment. I don't even think it's in construction.
Doesn't
I'll be honest
matter.
with you. I think for us,
you guys are all like
the music stuff, getting probably for me, maybe it's it's probably getting signed. It feels like people are like, oh, how is that a compliment? But that's a really big
That's a
compliment.
compliment.
Yeah.
How is that not a compliment?
Yeah. Probably getting
No, or
the
even
music industry.
really with the songs, related to the songs. Oh man, you guys got me through a lot of hard times through this song.
Yeah, seeing
that's-
people tattoo their
their
lyrics and
on
stuff
your
that you've
body,
written.
and you're like, dude, what the-
That's
you-
crazy.
you
Like we
okay?
just wrote this in our basement when we were 18. You know,
Those are
kind of shit.
compliments.
That's compliments,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, you know,
Totally.
people telling you you're a good person.
Yeah.
Favorite beverage?
Your beverage.
Dr. Pepper.
Espresso.
What never fails to make you laugh?
My kids.
That's a good one. That might be your kids, bro.
Oh, they are.
They're funny.
Now that now that they're in our lives, there 5 years of just that. That's good. That's a good
Worst
one.
piece of advice you guys ever got?
Worst piece of advice. That's a good one. I didn't think about that much.
Construction, man. Music, fuck. Both industries are giving you bad advice, man.
Oh yeah.
Okay. In the music
Trust
side.
me.
Oh, trust me.
That
That's a-
applies for any fucking.
Trust me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody who says trust me to me, I don't fucking trust you. I just don't trust you.
True.
You have to say that to me. I should. You
Okay,
should-
mine.
know
You
the
want me to know
person
mine?
completely, you're like,
Do you want me to know
ah.
mine? This is mine. I'm gonna look at a camera somewhere. Partners. I don't know which camera it is. Partnering. We're blood. This one is a hard one, but it's the. I'm being honest with you.
Tell a
It's
little story about Cain and Abel.
yeah. The partner thing. That's the That's the advice.
It's challenging.
Take
it's like
the-
it's finding the right wife.
Absolutely.
That's the same thing.
Same thing. Can you
Takes
even
effort.
make it or
Or camp.
You get
Somebody
divorced
6 feet
3
under.
times to find the 4th.
Yeah.
what profession other than your own would you guys like to attempt one day?
Real estate for me. Then
Classic car builder. Just work
Builder.
on old cars.
Yeah.
like what? Like mechanic?
Not mechanic, like
Like
a
you wanna-
fabricator, like a
Fabricator,
build,
metal.
Oh, nice.
build, weld
Or
up.
give it
fucking
another 30
cars.
years. You can like do a classic Tesla car builder.
What,
Yeah.
with
Could
glue?
you? Yeah.
We're gonna glue on the front fender.
Weld.
JB Weld and some like 2-part radius.
2P10.
Miter bond.
Yeah, it's
Miter bond. We're gonna go old school. 2P10.
Yeah, fast cap.
Fast cap one.
Favorite curse word.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Favorite vehicle. Any mode of transportation.
Favorite vehicle. Honestly, I'm not a car guy. That's Dan.
1980.
Any vehicle though. Any mode of transportation.
anything?
Any vehicle. I've had people say space shuttle, plane, shoes. Any mode of transportation.
Fucking anything.
Nothing?
Anything that gets me to point A to B, man.
Yeah, you're not.
I drive for purpose.
He
Like
doesn't
it's
drive
just
because he likes driving.
like if I'm on my GPS all the time. I'm
Get
like
to the place. And
that's it. I don't
Me,
care what I drive.
And like
This is Dan's
it's-
question.
Well, I have 2. Well, the one I enjoy driving, it's my 1986 Rally STX van, GMC.
Have you ever seen
They're bringing that back, aren't they? Or they redesigned it for the, and it's
They're,
going to look like
they're
shit.
trying, but I have
It's gonna look like
I have an
shit.
It's like
86.
original numbers, like mint
Carbureted.
show car.
It's like
For
a
van.
square
That's
box.
kind of weird,
you
but
know, a square box Chevy.
Yeah.
Now the vans are like hitting it.
You have a swivel seat on it?
Yeah, I have the bench, the tool bench. The kids love going to car shows.
They don't
with
do
it,
the
so-
swivel seat anymore, eh?
No, but it's hilarious. This van. Need a van called Dan because he's got the transit. He's got the pickup. He's got
wife's
the
van,
old rally
yeah.
van. But the rally van's mint condition. Things starts.
Yeah, I
and
got it
like-
off some old guy in
What's the second one?
a Monte Carlo 87 SS. That's my other one.
That's a good one.
So if they shut down Dan can go. Dan's got
No computers.
No
in
computers
the
in there,
cars. Straight gasoline.
right?
Last question. If heaven exists, what would you guys like to hear God say when you arrive at those pearly gates?
Oh,
You know, you've done a good job. It's time to go take a rest.
that's it. Rest easy. Come on in. You done well.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Pleasure speaking to you
you.
guys.
Yeah, you too,
Of course.
man.
You
Thanks
come
for
back
having us.
anytime,
I
man.
will,
Whenever.
100%.
And all the best to business, and hopefully the
Same
next
with
4
you.
years fucking get
Same with
better
you.
than worse.
Yeah.
You know,
Hopefully.
if you have faith, pray. Let's just hope
God is good all the time, man.
we can.
Well, his son was a carpenter.
Something. Damn right.
Absolutely.
We're out of here.